I love sharing this stuff because people just think it's so easy, but no, there's a lot to developing wheels that we consider all that.
As car enthusiasts ourselves, we pride ourselves on coming up with wheel ideas that not only complement what we admire about our hobby, but also perform at high level for various forms of spirited driving.
Deep eating happens on all wheels and all tires. It just happens, you know? And Odie really put me on. He's like, dude, it's not always the tire and wheel. Like, if your compression, your rebound, your suspension, the weight of the car, that could take a tire off too. The Neo in the satin gunmetal, it didn't hit. Sometimes you just get humbled that way. And I don't think enough brands are talking about some of their misses. You ever see a brand do like a mystery box on their website? It's crap that didn't sell. You're getting a triple XL. I'm sorry. We always want to do the tandem in chrome.
Why not the K&P?
So there's two problems with the tandem and the K&P is the...
Yeah, because y'all did something with Danny Duncan this year too.
Yeah. When they sent me the pictures of the car done, I was like, all right, I guess we're in it now.
I was like, Chris knew what he was doing.
Yeah, I've been wanting this shit forever. I've been in the field with whatever they throw at me. Brush it off, pick myself up, moving on to the better. Hey. Ain't no errors, baby, it's a new era.
Welcome back to the Circle Drift Podcast. Again, thanks to all of you that stop in every single week for a brand new episode. You guys are the best. Please continue to leave your feedback in the comments. I'm always down there looking so that I can continue to make the show better for you guys and for myself too. But today we are actually in beautiful sunny California, not only for Formula Drift Long Beach at the Shoreline Showdown, but we went ahead and stopped by Kansei and chatted with Chris Sempek a little bit about what's been going on this past year with tariffs and getting new wheels in and why certain wheels can't have certain finishes and a whole bunch of stuff we're getting into. But I know, look, a lot of you guys are here because you're trying to get into drifting or maybe just further your skill level. And obviously the best way to do that now is through sim drifting. And lucky for you guys, this show is presented by Sim HQ. So you can always save 5% off on your next upgrade or maybe an entire rig. Especially with off season coming up, you're gonna definitely want to brush up on your seat time since you can't get in the car. But that's all I've got for this intro. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the podcast. We are, I guess it's not too familiar, but we are back at Kansei.
We're back
in California, here for Long Beach
Welcome
and Formula
back.
Drift. And yeah, we get to sit down with Chris again. So how are we doing?
It's been, a year I think we talked about?
Yeah, just about.
Roughly. A lot has happened with you and with us and with me. So we're excited to get into, all the stuff we've done in the past year, the highs and the lows, and bring some transparency to the brand, which is always important to me because I think that to really, be a good car enthusiast brand, especially, people want to connect with the people behind the scenes and know who they're getting their stuff from. So doing stuff like this is epic. I appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah, I'm
glad I
going.
can.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you guys too for helping out.
Hey,
and,
you're out there like
making it work.
boots on the ground, like we don't go to every single show. You are grinding, dude. So anytime you can like introduce our brand through your, channel to more people, especially like the events you hit, like grassroots stuff, it's epic, Yeah. And like, I guess I can't say all grassroots because you got Grid Lives, did you go to LS Fest?
Yeah, we actually did.
You got
Kind
LS
of last
Fest.
minute.
Yeah, but all these events are popping up now, dude. It's hard to keep up.
Yeah,
it's really
actually
hard
I've had the idea. I'm gonna pitch it to you, and I guess you guys too. But what about an actual grassroots tour? Like, what if we just cool. Like everyone out there pitched the best grassroots local event, and we go out and just interview a bunch of random local guys?
That would be cool. They don't get enough shine. I think just the events in general could benefit, for extra promo and like. Who doesn't want to see their like hometown event featured on something at any level, it'd be kind of like I don't know if like skate magazines used to do that back in the day. Maybe they had something like that. But no, that'd be cool. There's so many untapped like small events. Yeah, there's a lot of events now, like big,
there's
like
so
Grid
many good
Lives,
tracks around the country.
Oh yeah, so many cool little tracks. Some with no cell service, those kind of tracks, like. Yeah, you can get into like the local scene there. I don't know, figure out what the local food people are eating, kind of a little something lifestyle aspect to it. I think it's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I think it's a
kind
cool
of,
idea.
well, I mean, like Drift Appalachia kind of does that too.
Epic.
Where
yeah.
it's all little small towns, which I guess it has to be up in the mountains.
They
but,
do, yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
But
they might expand that too, I heard. They might kind of hit some more areas. It's unofficial, but I don't know. It'd be cool to see them pop up in more areas. What they're doing is incredible, though. It is super cool to watch. Just the content of cars through trees like that, and the smoke, and it's just epic. They nailed it with that. It's cool to see some of our drivers compete in that. You got like FD people all the way down to really stylish street dudes just crushing it, and to see that mix. And I think like one of the last ones they had like an all 180 or all S chassis like run or something.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
yeah,
If I can find that video, I'll put it in there.
Just little twists like that are super cool to me. Like that's an event that's really super tight knit, well ran. Like I know people are dying to drive that. It's like hard to get in, but I think they're doing the right thing with that. It's really cool. I can't wait to see where it goes.
Me too.
Next year.
All right, because they've been poking at a lot of like improvements coming next year, so I'm excited to see what that turns into.
I like any kind of drifting with elevation.
Right.
Like it adds such a dynamic
Dude,
element.
you got to come to Polecat.
I know.
You've
Polecat,
got to.
Mid Pond, all these places. Just give me a little bit of like, just to see a car like dance over hills like that. It just adds such a, because we've all seen a lot of parking lot drifting. I know it's hard to get venues and lock in places, and we all got to start somewhere. And you can still rip and link a whole, parking lot course.
I mean, look at we're about to be in a parking lot this weekend,
literally.
technically.
Pretty much a glorified. Yeah, you can do a lot with that. And walls make it fun. It does add an element, especially Long Beach, notorious for walls. If not the wall, on the old layout, the season opener layout. But man, just give me some elevation. It's so cool to see that. It really like brings it back to Japan. Like the at Ebisu, it's like literally on a mountain, and
it's a whole different feeling, man.
It's cool. Like it feels literally when you're in the car, even just as a passenger, like I did, it just like a roller coaster. It's like the closest thing you can get to a legit like theme park.
What track or I guess experience do you have being in the car?
So I went to Ebisu.
You said Ebisu, yeah.
I that's probably my highlight top experience that I would love to share is like, going to Ebisu 2019. So it was a minute ago. And I wanted to go the next year, but obviously COVID, so kind of stopped all that. But I went out there with Grant Anderson, not with him, but I met up with him there. And he was literally like my Sherpa and like showed me around, showed me how to get a rental car, how to get Wi-Fi, how to get money, what hotel to stay in, everything, like laid it all out for me. So big ups to Grant for putting me on that. And now, I mean, everyone's going to Ebisu. It's like anyone has figured it out, but it was still kind of hard back then. Like you really had to like have someone show you the way. And I rode along with a bunch of people out there. Rich Whiteman was there. Met some rad dudes from Australia, Kane from the UK, really, really cool dudes, and just riding that, I think it was literally called Toge course. Like it's one of the many tracks there. Just through the trees, just epic. It's
one of the gnarliest tracks there.
Yeah, it's kind of like snowboarding. If you ever like get like a mountain pass and you just like pick any like route you want to go, take the lift up, do whatever you want. It's pretty much the car, I guess I should say, drifting equivalent of that, where you're just like, this huge facility, all these different tracks. You kind of go wherever you please. Now, I have not driven it, so I can't speak from that perspective, but I just went to like view this and spectate this. Looking back, I really should have rented a car or like made some moves to like even just get lessons from like all the like awesome instructing schools there. That was like unfortunately not on my radar at the time. Now looking back, I really should have like utilized that. So that was a learning experience, but just hanging out there with everyone and soaking it up, it was epic, man. So, but it really comes back to the elevation was one of my favorite parts of it, just cruising up and down hills and stuff. So
that's what's really kept me from going to Ebisu. Well, not the elevation, but it's so hard to get a car there now. Or I guess not get a
Oh,
car, but it's
a
so
drift car.
expensive and
Yeah. Oh,
stuff
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
I'd hate to miss out on that
It was already
experience
expensive
being
when,
there.
like, in 2019, when I looked at, I was not going to buy a vehicle, but they're obviously listed online. You could look them up easily and see. But yeah, Chaser, like a missile Chaser, I would say was, I want to say 9 grand, 10 grand. Which looking back seems cheap, you know. But I mean, obviously it's not road legal. It's nothing like that. It's pretty much your storage unit when you're not there. So you got to keep. That's why the Chaser's so awesome. Like any 4-door car is so coveted there, because you like got to put all your spare parts and tools in there for the 6 months or maybe a year before you go back. So I thought that was pretty interesting, like element to it. Like the car you pick. I mean, I guess you could pay for storage. This was a long time ago, so I don't know what it's like now. But yeah, everyone's like buying spare parts and like being really cautious of like, where am I going to store this? And obviously it's in your gutted vehicle, obviously, or caged at least. But yeah, I thought that was really like really cool part of it. And then like people like Grant go there, 40 days a year, sometimes 3 trips, and
They might as well just buy
so.
property out there at
Oh
that
yeah,
point.
yeah.
Like,
Well, one person did. Kane. High Chance is his brand. He
I've heard of
bought
that,
a
yeah.
house. He's renovating a house in Japan.
that's so
Yeah,
cool.
it's really
Isn't property
really
cheap
cool.
out there?
I don't know. He
Like,
bought
coming
like a
from a US?
200-year-old house, like a ancient house. It's all on his YouTube. The floorboards are all rotted out. I think him and Momo, his girl, they're gonna like fix it up and like document it. So if you want a little look, I don't know how close it is to the
Send
track.
me his
but
YouTube and
yeah.
I'll put it up on the screen
yeah,
or something.
high chance, Chance, Kane Louder. He's a ripper. He's a really good taste, awesome driver. I met him on that trip. And it's cool. Like when I went there, like the people I met there, like I still stay in contact with. We just have spent like 3-4 days together, and I didn't even drift. I was just there hanging, and everyone else was putting in like 8, 10, 12 hours a day of driving. It was a Matsuri, so you want to get in all day, all night. And you flew, I don't know, 6,000 miles to get there, so you want to get some laps in. But yeah, just a fascinating experience. Like, but yeah, you're right. Now getting a car at that track, or any car in general over there, it's just taxed. Like people have figured it out. I'd love to be fact checked on that though. I don't know what prices are going for now. I'm not in the market myself, but yeah, it'd be Power Vehicles, Andrew out there. I would love to buy a car. Like they sell these incredible cars that are like done or
Yeah.
like either
Yeah, just a package deal.
yeah,
Ready to go.
Man, there's been some tempting stuff on there. Like I don't know who builds these cars. Maybe Power Vehicles does, or they just source them from somewhere. But man, there's this red Chaser on there. I love anything red, but like I saw, yeah, they're just, I don't know if they're like retired FD cars, or they don't have any liveries or anything. Sometimes they're, man, they had a Mercedes with like a 2J. Yeah, they sell random stuff, but if you're ever bored, check out their website. And hope I didn't blow up the spot, but there's some incredible, like if you brought one of those cars over here, you'd be the king. Like you'd be really, especially if you drifted it. Like I wouldn't do it justice. I wouldn't slide. I would probably just street drive it and take it to events. But man, there's some cool stuff over there. But I mean, more importantly, like the whole trip to Japan though, just really shaped our brand. We kind of soaked it all up and brought some of that back and like influenced our brand, which was super cool. And we
So
did
that was
send some.
before?
No, that was we had been selling wheels for about a year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we launched our brand in 2018. We developed Kansei in 2017, but we sold our first wheels 2018, and then the following year, 2019, is when I went to the Spring Matsuri, because I had started meeting people through selling our first batches of wheels. And then I had known Grant from back when he was a VW kid, like through my friend Nate. And I had seen Grant going over there a lot. I'm like, wait a minute, Grant's going to Japan? Like, this is not the car guy I know. And Grant is chameleon, man. He's just into all kinds of cool stuff, like choppers. And anyway, I had been seeing him go to Japan. And I was like, dude, I texted my buddy Nate. I was like, dude, get me Grant's number. Like, I got to see what this is all about. I have a, drift wheel brand now. I got to go there and see what the fuss is all about. And man, so glad I did. So glad I did.
Well, you said you took some inspiration back home for the brand. What were some of the
Man, one of the
inspirations you
coolest
got?
things we brought back was the shark character. So we use a shark. We've done like our rat fink kind of like basically an Ebisu shirt with the chaser and the wheels. Our acid wash shirt that we came out with right after that trip. But so while I was in Japan, I was driving. You had to fly into Tokyo and drive 4 hours up to Fukushima, which is where my hotel was. And then Ebisu was, I don't know, 20, 30-minute drive every morning out kind of in the countryside and the hills a little bit. And so I did a lot of driving. I rented a car. Side note, I was going to ship wheels out there for Grant. There was a spring festival. FedEx was not going to get them there in time. I flew with the wheels as my luggage. So I checked 4 wheel boxes in and flew with them. There was only $400, which doesn't seem like that much looking, to basically like have them fly with me, essentially overnight them. I just did them each box was $100. So I just checked them in at the airport like they were my luggage. They were all sketched out because they're like, "Are you reselling these? Is this a business thing?" And I was like, "No, just vacation, And then, so I got to Japan. Had this luggage cart with all the wheels stacked up. There's an old picture on my Instagram you can throw up. Flew all the way out there with them. They didn't really fit Grant's car. They were a little aggressive. We kind of rushed the offset. We didn't really think about it. So then we ended up putting them on Kane's car. But one of our first viral clips ever was Grant trying to roll the fenders with the wheels. You'll have to throw it up on the screen because it's ancient at this point. But yeah, it was, they were jumping in, I think it was Kane's chaser, the brown one, and they were jumping up and down on it. And he had the jack handle, like you do, Yeah, so there was no finesse with it. It's already, like, I think Osbo even was the one that crunched in the quarters on this car. So Grant was going, "Yeah, jump," and then they're jumping on the trunk, and they got the jack, and it slipped a little bit, and his hand like went up, like right where the fender was doing its thing, and he caught it. It was sketchier in person than it looked on video, but I just posted up. I was just sitting there in the pit area. I was just watching them trying to put these wheels on. And I was like, oh, let me just film this real quick. I thought it was interesting. Just like, and this was back when just like a raw clip on IG would just blow up. Like it also had something kind of dangerous in it.
Still kind of will.
Still kind of will. I'll give you that. But like this was like one of our like, I can't remember. It got just a lot of views, hundreds of thousands. But this is like not even trying. I just thought it was a cool clip. Throw it up. So that I was like, oh man, like you got to be. It made me realize one of the takeaways you were saying like from the trip was like, you got to be in the action. You got to be where like stuff's happening. Stuff will just happen around you. You just got to kind of capture it, especially if it's for a brand or the brand of yourself. But yeah, that was pretty interesting, and I was like, oh man, just one clip stuff is something to think about. But that was quite the tangent there on the wheels that I sent. I didn't make it, but they did make it. So as I did a lot of driving in Japan in the rental car, I would stop at these rest stations and they had like convenience stores in them, and it's like a rest stop, got bathrooms, got a little bit of food. And in the bathrooms, there's like these PSA placards that is a shark and a manatee. And the shark is the a-hole. Like, don't be like the shark. He's cutting people off. He's parking in the handicap spot.
So you said, that's my guy.
Yeah. And the manatee was a safe driver. He was green. He was chilling. He watched out for kids in the street. He did all this stuff. But the shark had like a little smirk. It's kind of like, this is a dangerous driver. Don't be like the shark. And, I was like, you know what? That's kind of cool. We're gonna roll with that. Yeah. So came home, like, we got to put this on a shirt. We got to get it drawn up. A few different ways. I have always liked sharks since I was a kid. Who doesn't like sharks? They're just cool. they're just cool. The cool animals. So, yeah, that's one of the things like you wouldn't have gotten, that inspiration just by scrolling IG or something. You got to get out there. You got to go see stuff and have it.
Well, like you see companies do that all the time. Like even Nate Hamilton, for example, I'll choose him.
Super rad, dude.
PHRS just came out with this little like, it's almost like a blob type symbol or whatever.
On the hoodie, the brown hoodie. I want
yeah.
that hoodie, Nate.
Me too.
Yeah. This hoodie's fire.
Why is that important for a brand? Like, is there a psychology behind that? Do you like?
Man, it's important because people just,
because it's just so simple.
It is simple,
little symbol.
But I feel like when you tell when people kind of hear the backstory of something, how it came to be, it just connects you more with it. Whether it is like a shark or a cool symbol like Nate's, it's just that people love associating with a symbol or a pattern or something that connects them more to the brand. It's like almost like a football team, like the mascot. Like people. A Green Bay fan will literally paint himself green. Like it's just connect themselves that much more to what they love. And when you're into something, I feel like we're all into like not just car stuff, but anything else we like in life. There's like a little connection, or even a big connection we can make to the brand through a symbol or through even a song or a commercial or something that affects you. You're just gonna have a better impression of that brand at the end of the day because you have everyone sees this meaning in a different way too. Because it's like you might see the shark symbol and be like, oh yeah, like I remember I was a real piece of shit driver back in the day. I'm not now, but like I was, but I still kind of connect with that. So that's kind of cool to me. I respect that. Like, yeah, we all got to come from somewhere. I was super. Or you could say, dude, I'm still like on track. I am the badass dude. I am the shark, now I am, I used to be weak. I used to be too nice on track or, initiate too soon. No, not like a total jerk, not like messing people up, but some people, have different driving styles, some more aggressive than others. And I think you could take a symbol like that and just put your own kind of spin on it personally, and that, like I said, just brings you closer to the brand. Whether you currently identify with the person or used to, or, sometimes like you'll see like a music artist, like you don't really listen to anymore and they drop some like,
oh God, that feeling is yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about on that.
Yeah. And like, you're like, I used to go to all their shows. I've kind of mellowed out now, but if they drop some cool merch, you'd be like, I still might buy it because I used to be me. I want people to know it's me, but I'm kind of cool now. I'm kind of like moved on. But like, I want people to know I used to, everyone has their own little story or connection with another thing. And I think that's just a cool way to kind of connect with the brand.
Just identifying with something.
Yeah, just identifying with something, especially if it's like, and there's so many brands out there now. You can really be choosy and like be curated to like what you like. And you should, you shouldn't, we do it with the clothes we wear, like, do you wear Reebok? Yes or no?
Dude,
like,
you should do
down with Reebok, I guess.
Well, yeah. Sorry, not.
No, you're good.
I'm gonna lose this idea. You know how Jeep does that little, like, little Jeep icon in the corner of the windshield?
Little Easter eggs.
You ought to do your little shark fin somewhere, just randomly etched into the wheel.
We should do that.
That'd be kind of fun.
Dude, that's rad. Little Easter egg.
Do it at a different spot in each wheel.
No, we
find it.
We got stamps on the back of the wheels for all the technical, boring stuff, but why not do like a little, 1552 used to do that back in the day with Ken Block's like skull and crossbones symbol.
Yeah, that's right.
They used to cast that in like the back of their spokes. And normally like the back of the spokes of the wheels are just the most boring, like technical offset, when it was made, where it was made, all that stuff. But yeah, you could totally have some fun with it. If there's enough room, like, yeah, we could. I've seen other brands before do like designed in California and stuff like that, so why not just do something fun? But yeah, but these are all kind of things you like as you're building a brand and like you want to express yourself through the brand and the people at the company want to express themselves through the brand. It should be welcomed, it should be cool to like create and try stuff out and even if no one digs the shark, at least we have like a symbol for our brand. It's just kind of gives it some personality, some flair. Like FDF with the mantis, it's kind of their thing. I'm not gonna say in every brand needs a mascot, but like having some symbolism is really cool. It's more than just words or like cool graphics on something, and then your merch gets better and there's more of a little story. Yeah, it's a cool part of it. We're gonna keep rocking the shark. We just dropped shark rugs, so
Shark
yeah.
rugs.
Oh yeah, you haven't seen them
That's-
at
no, I
yeah.
haven't.
We'll drop them at FD. We dropped them at Gatlinburg.
have to come
They
snag
sold out
one.
like instantly. So we're gonna
How big are they?
like 3 feet wide. 3
Oh,
feet,
no
yeah, like
way.
36 inches, yeah, by 30 inches. Hand tufted rugs, yeah, they're pretty
That'd
rad.
be cool friend of the sim.
Yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Well,
I actually have
more
a
coming.
design of some of those, some like 3x5 rugs,
Yeah.
just for keeping a sim rig on.
yeah.
It'd be perfect.
We got rubber entrance mats coming too. Like we used to have these, our old logo back in the day. We had these, I don't know, they were like 5 feet by, like the long skinny ones. So we're bringing those back too. So they're not here yet, but they're coming. So yeah, but all the racers love them too because they lay them down in the pits and they're not laying on the ground. I never thought of that when I did it. I only did it for dealers at first. I was like, oh, I'll like Injuku, like all those guys would just throw it, send them a bunch, put them on the floor. But and I just had so many people that we sponsor hitting me up. They're like, dude, I need one of those rugs. And I was like, I mean, I guess they are just promo, so I'll send you one. But
Actually, the Viper stuff that just showed up,
oh yes,
those little small boxes are like foldable, like mechanic mats. So you can unfold
Oh,
them, lay them in the car.
rad.
Do all that
I was
stuff. Yeah,
really
we're gonna give
tempted
some
to
of those
open one
away
of
this
those
weekend.
just to take a peek at those chairs because they look so.
Oh, they're
they look
sick. It's the
super
new
epic.
ones too with the
Oh,
hydraulic lift
I
on
did
it.
not know that.
Oh, they're epic.
I don't think I've ever sat in one. I've seen them everywhere. I never sat in ones. I always
Yeah.
go like, but yeah, you should.
Well, I
we'll
can't
have
take them
those.
with me, so maybe I'll just leave you one
Oh
with
yeah,
you.
how convenient.
Yeah, I got to give them
yeah.
away this weekend
Oh,
since I
you
can't take them.
do?
Yeah.
Oh shoot. Well, let me know.
Yeah. What was the first wheel that Kansei ever came out with?
Tandem?
Ah, so close.
Roku.
Nah,
The Roku?
nah.
If I had to guess, I would say Roku.
I'm gonna guess Roku, maybe?
It's literally the same thing you said. Nah, it's the KMP. What was the original name for the KMP? I don't think anybody's gonna guess this all day.
I have no clue. I'm not even a guess in my head, I'm gonna be honest with you.
Nope, not at all.
No, I sure don't.
That I don't remember. Wasn't? No.
I don't know if it was said anywhere else other than my podcast. It still had KNP in it.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Oh, it's flatlined.
Wow, I don't know that one. I don't know that one. Yeah, I'm
It's
stumped on
still
that.
got KNP in it. It's actually called the Noop. The Kansei Noop. It was never, well, it wasn't Kansei at the time. It was Sempek still.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was the Noop. KNOOP. Hell yeah, and he's working the booth too.
We're doing more and more stuff too.
Wait, what do you mean?
More merch, more soft goods, more
Oh,
accessories.
yeah.
Dude, we kind of been
When is that
coasting on our
coming?
merch. What's
When do you think it's coming?
we got some skate decks coming. Yeah, those will drop probably right when this pod drops. They're already kind of sneakily on the site now, but we're having fun with it, man. We can't just be wheels all the time. And I mean, the wheels aren't going anywhere, but it's fun to fill out the line and take inspiration from people like Nate Hamilton, who does such a good job with his merch. We just want to fill out the brand more. So like the clothing drop that you're wearing, we were very proud of that.
Shirt's comfortable too.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's like a nice thick material.
It really came together. It took a long time, longer than I like to admit, for that to be developed. Because like I said, our focus here is definitely always going to be the wheels. But if you have a brand out there and you don't have any merch, set some time aside to make some cool merch, and don't always have to try and do it yourself. We worked with very talented artists and designers to put this merch collection together. In the past, it was always just kind of me, which was cool for a bit because I had that pride of like, oh yeah, I'm designing all the merch like hell. Josh did a lot of the artwork and stuff before he got snapped up by Adam. But we had cool merch back in the day, and but I was just kind of doing it on the side. And like I said, I thought it was cool that I was doing it, and then I had to take myself out of it because I was like, you know what, it can't just be what I like. I need it to be mostly what is from like an expert's kind of view, and then maybe a little bit of my influence at the end, or maybe I provide the direction, and then they come up with the concepts. We show our guys here. We call kind of vote on them, get involved. But that was one thing I had to do, which is actually remove myself from the merch
It had to have been
development.
hard.
Oh yeah, yeah, it was hard.
Oh.
But you know what? Honestly, some of our designs weren't doing so hot. So that's when I realized, like, oh man, like, and also the brand was growing so big. When our brand was small, it was easy. Like, we only had 2 shirts or whatever. It didn't really matter so much, you know.
Y'all
We
are
had, like,
overseas and stuff now,
yeah,
right?
yeah. But as we started to grow, I was like, dude, our merch has got to be stepped up. Like, we were stepping it up so much on the wheel side, and getting more opinions, getting more people involved. So it's a good thing. It's a good thing to let go. But you're right, it's hard at first because you kind of have like that pride and that like ego part of it, which we're all guilty of when creating something. But I think when you add like a recipe, you know, and you have when you kind of dial back you and you dial up more of the other people, it only gets better. It only gets better and also it sucks when you come up with a shirt that you're so stoked on and everyone else is like, okay. Yeah. And it's like, all right, we got to switch up. And you want to reach more people too. When it's just one person's ideas all the time, no one's I mean, yeah, you got your like Virgils and your like, you know, super talented people. But I was like, dude, I want to focus more on making the wheels even better. And the merch, we've met so many people too through the years of like, the brand has grown a lot of exposure. People are reaching out to us to design stuff for us. You can't say yes to everyone, obviously, but we really, with this collection that you're wearing, like, I also felt that, yes, we were using Josh from Like Hell, and I feel like everyone's kind of emulating his style now, which is great for Josh. Like the vector, like super cool, technical, big back prints. Those aren't going anywhere. Those are epic. I wear like every one of the LZ World Tour shirts. I rock all of our old stuff. I'm very fortunate to have Josh work for us. And those early, he really put us on and gave us a lot of credibility too, because we could literally launch like a Like Hell shirt. Like, I always loved his stuff personally. I was like, dude, yeah, we got the guy. He's designing stuff for us. But like I said, he got picked up by Adam. But also, I wanted our stuff to be different than everyone else's. You know, we walk around FD, you're going to see a lot of shirts that look the same. You're going to see a lot of you're going to see a lot of Adam shirts, first off, but you're going to see everyone is kind of just, and that crowd likes it too. Like, there's no shame in that. It has a certain look that's just super accepted by the scene, which is great. But for Kansei, I was like, man, we gotta step out a little bit. We gotta have our own look. You know, nothing against Josh or even that style in general. Like I said, it'll always be there. It'll always have its place. But I was like, what about us, man? Like, where are we gonna separate ourselves? So, yeah, I worked with some really talented people, and I told them the mission. I was like, dude, I just want some simple stuff, still on, you know, still cool, but yeah, just give us some clean, like identifying pieces. And yeah, this hoodie is even one of them. And still nod back to like our early kind of like vibes of the brand, which has always been kind of like Y2K 90s kind of style, but clean pieces. So that was a step we had to take to kind of just help the brand as it grew.
Yeah, it's merch is hard.
It's very hard.
It's so hard.
It's expensive.
Very.
You got to give up some of it away to kind of get it going, which
hurts.
It kind of hurts. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you make merch. You know how much it costs to.
I've had to slow down on it a lot because of that stuff. I can't put the time into it that it needs. And like, even myself, I'll go in my closet and, you know, I'll find myself picking out probably the same 10, 15,
shirt.
20 shirts.
Yeah.
They're all black.
They're all black.
But it's not even necessarily that. It's just like, I would much rather wear a shirt that has nothing on it, but it feels great.
Yeah.
Versus something that has some crazy graphic on the back with someone's car on it or whatever. And like, yeah, it's a repetitive cycle that I find myself in when I'm going to find a t-shirt or a hoodie or a jacket or whatever it is. So
yeah, you gotta break out of that. And yeah, no, it's a very real thing. Merch is hard, because at the end of the day, you got to print a lot of it.
Yeah, and I hate being trendy.
It's hard.
I hate
yeah.
the trendy of it.
Yeah. And you want to make stuff you would wear personally.
Right.
Because sometimes what's going to sell, you're like, I'm not wearing.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing a. I don't know.
I hate that it is that way though. Like you
It's
have to play
fashion.
the game
It's
of
a fashion thing though. It's how these big brands are just constantly chasing that, like throwing money at it. And here, you and I are just trying to make a few runs of stuff, and it's still hard, and how do you like define your brand, not make it dorky, still make it sellable, make it simple enough. But the only thing I can say is you gotta, if you have a brand, or even like drivers especially, like Ryan Acevedo is someone that's kind of like branding himself. Like he has like a running club he's doing. But man, if you're a driver in this sport, you should really have a logo that's not corny. That's not some clip arty thing. We got to stop that. We got to stop my cousin's little brother does graphic design. No, just give someone a couple of bucks go on IG, really get out, get non-endemic, get out, find some sportswear people, there's all these graphic artists that are like putting their free game out there, like showing like how they, like record their screen of like how they like, there's that one dude on IG that like walks around his town and looks at crappy logos and says, oh, fixing up this logo. I think we've all seen that. Like find an up and coming dude like that and like tell him about you. I really think it would be, and you could work it into your car and your race suit and eventually, hopefully, your merch. But I would think it would be really cool if more drivers in the sport like did their own kind of branding.
Prioritized it more. Yeah, I agree.
I know it's for a lot of drivers that are like, dude, I don't care about that stuff. I'm just trying to get in the seat and win. That's great, But there are drivers out there. Your car is super stylish. Your car has a livery and a look. Why doesn't your team and like your persona have a look? And if it's not for you, that's great. But I know there are people out there going, man, the stuff I wear at events is nothing like I wear in my personal life. Like there's no connection. Why not make your own stuff that you would wear? And that's cool. And your team could wear. It doesn't have to be crazy. You could just, like I said, make a logo for yourself that's clean and kind of cool. Just give yourself some branding,
What I hate seeing is when drivers complain about, or I guess complain about the lack of sponsorship, but also don't prioritize stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because you're obviously showing that you don't care about that side of it. Yeah. So it's,
or maybe they just can't. Some people, it's not on their radar at all. I know there's some drivers out there that will admit, I don't have an artistic bone in my body. But dude, you better find your coolest friend that's like a little bit hip or goes thrifting or does something. You better grab them and say, dude, give me some pointers, because when I'm looking at sponsorship applications that come my way, if you got like a little branding to you, I'm more interested, because we put a lot of effort into our branding as a brand, obviously, and as we put out pieces and wheels, like they all have a vibe and a look, and you should be conscious of that with your own program. Like, what do I look like? Give yourself just a little bit of branding. A little bit. I
think that's what people mean when they say "fake it till you make it."
Yeah, exactly.
That's like the definition of it.
Because like you're already spending a lot to wrap your car, your trailer. I mean, I guess it'll always have its place, but I'm not really down with the team shirt with the roll call of all the sponsors on the back in different colors. At least make them all one. Get the vector and just do them all one color.
Yeah.
But man, like, drifting is such a stylish sport. Like, no matter what level you're at, you should have some like swag to it. I think it'd go a long way.
So are you like, is that like a very defining characteristic to whether you would say yes or no to someone as a sponsorship?
It just helps. Sponsorship's a weird deal. It's always changing. We still don't have it completely figured out here, contrary to be completely transparent. Like we're not super dialed. You just kind of talk to us, get to know us. And we have like a set menu. We have at least standardized like a gold, silver, bronze, grassroots kind of like menu to order off of. Yeah. 'Cause we needed something to kind of weed out sponsorships. We get, we get 120 a day. And it goes from all the way from like, give me free wheels to like, a top person that I can't name on this podcast. Like it's really cool to see the spectrum. We're very fortunate to have the interest, but man, like we had to set something up because it's very ambiguous. You know, everyone does different stuff. You got some people are just a famous DJ, and it's like, okay.
Yeah, because y'all did something with Danny Duncan this year too.
Yeah. That was cool. Yeah.
That was hilarious, by the way.
Yeah, that was, when they sent me the pictures of the car done, I was like, all right, I guess we're in it now.
I was like, Chris knew what he was doing.
I guess, no, shouts to Adam for setting that up. Yeah, I got to give him props for that. Totally took a chance on it. I wouldn't really call that sponsorship. I would just call that winging it. And I was like, yeah, we'll see. Car was pretty wild. I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it's something we could post some of the details of. I don't know if you saw the gauge cluster and the shifter, but definitely not on brand. But you know, he does reach a younger demo, which is up and coming, and like got that, you know, like a new school Jackass type vibe. You know, he's like the new. You know, and the fact that he's blending over to car stuff is super cool. But yeah, so you'll have like, you know, Danny Duncan, you'll have famous DJs, you'll have, you know, all sorts of, and all the way down to like someone with a stock Corolla saying, you need to give me wheels now. Like no punctuation, no capital, like there's like, so there's got to be a system, you know, because it's very ambiguous because everyone needs a different kind of deal. You know, we would love to work with a famous person, even if the car side of them is minimal, or we would love to work with a grassroots person where the car side is major, but the personality is minimal. And there's got to be some sort of equalizer. So we just kind of came up with, and it's still in progress, but we came up with a menu essentially to order off of. It was like, hey, put it back on them. You know, be transparent. Here's the gold level. You got to do this list of deliverables. If you're not down with that, here's bronze, silver. Here's just grassroots, where it's literally like, hey, here's a percentage. The sponsorships we all hear about, where it's like, run our sticker, get a code. You know, like the super low maintenance ones. Then there's, of course, obviously higher maintenance the higher you go. But that's one thing we started implementing, and it's still not perfected yet. You know, I don't think any company really has sponsorship super duper dialed. Maybe Monster Energy or like the tire companies, you know, but we're still trying to figure it out every day. We're not a big team either, so it's not like we have this luxury of like, oh, just shoot it over to the marketing building and then they'll figure it out. We kind of go through everyone one by one, kind of figure out a custom deal. We've screwed up in the past for sure. We've gotten burned. We have also not held up our part of the deal on other people too. It's unfortunate. Not because we don't care, it's because we're just spread too thin, and we are not marketing full time here all the time. I'm an engineer by trade. Like I am not I didn't go to school for marketing, especially not motorsports marketing. I am not that guy. I can pretend to be for a little bit, and I've done some high profile deals, kind of hammered them out. Some I've screwed up on.
What is the biggest pitch you've gotten?
We've gotten,
you don't have to say who or anything, but
like, I remember back in the day, I'm not going to say who, but they wanted $400K for something. Oh. Yeah.
At the time, was that even like plausible?
Oh,
if
no,
it did work?
Still today, it's not. It's
that's
just,
okay.
It's just like insane.
That's crazy.
But that's for the Pennzoils and the Falcons and the Monsters of the world. Like, obviously, every deck that comes our way too, even from like big corporate gigs, is a menu as well. You know, they got title, associate, supporting. You know, they got different ways they break it down. No, it was a very well-known media entity. But and another thing too is it's not just the money. A lot of people think, oh, if I just give them $400K, my problems are solved. I'm all done. Like, sweet. And there's literally people at marketing roles in corporate companies where it's their whole job just to spend money. You just hear about the budget. You know, you just got some random person in a cubicle, you know, I'm not going to say any names, but like at a large organization, it's like their job is just, they have $1 million that year in budget, and whatever comes their way. Oh, you want to do 50,000 umbrellas to hand out at a cycling race? Okay, yeah, all right. And then they can go to their boss and say, look, boss, I spent 100K on umbrellas. They got there. They're in all the photos. Good job, right? Boom, marketing accomplished. And that is one way to do it. That's what you'll see at these big, like larger corporate companies is it's someone's job just to spend money and not necessarily follow up or make sure I guess, yes, it does get done, but that's what messes up a lot of these smaller brands too, because when the big brands and the small brands mix, they think you just work the same way. Or it's like, well, you just have a pot of gold you're sitting on to dish out, right? It's like, well, no. Drift Jesus put this to me. Wout is his name. He put me on this, that when you are giving someone money for a sponsorship, you are paying an employee. You have to think of it as, and the person receiving the money should have some context to that feeling of like, okay, let's say I have a truck driving job where I make $1,000 a week. And let's just say Kansei Wheels gave me $2,000. The same amount of work I would have to do in 2 weeks at my truck driving job, the getting up, the lunch breaks, the driving, the 8 hours, that same amount of work, whatever weight you put on that, needs to be translated to this 2,000 that this other brand gave me. And that really opened up my eyes to like, oh yeah, you're right. And granted, at your real job, you're working every single day. In motorsports, you're working weekends, and you have a full year to meet your commitments in most terms. So that's what really like needs to happen when you start associating value to some of these partnerships is like that same amount. It's not a free ride. It's nothing. It's not free. They're not free wheels.
Yeah, everyone thinks it's a one-way street.
No. It's so back to what I was saying. Like, just because for the $400,000 example, just because you spent that, that's when the real work starts. I would argue that you'd have to do $400,000 of your own work to match what went into that.
Yeah.
So let's just say, you get for $400K, you get these set of deliverables. If you just take what they give you, it's going to be crappy. Mm-hmm. Like the logo will be small. It won't be on the live stream. It won't be. You got to really go in and like advocate and make sure it happens, and probably even go to the events or whatever it is, and like really like and do a booth. Like if you're sponsoring a race series, you just wrote them a check for a large amount of money. You better be going to every show. Mm-hmm. You better be there too, and that's not part of the deal. Like if you paid, a large amount, and then you just thought you were done. No, you got to spend even more. I guess you could physically spend, but you got to spend the man hours behind that yourself to make the most out of that partnership. No one should just get X, Y, and Z, be set on their way. It should be follow-ups. It should be active, involvement all the way through.
Follow-up is the hardest part for
Very
most
hard.
people. Yeah.
And we've experienced that too, because we grew so fast, so big, so fast. There's no way we could follow up with everyone. It's hard.
That's why I stay on you.
Yeah, you're good. Yeah. Follow up with us, please. If you're a partner with us, let us know what you're doing. We've had people do weird stuff with sponsorship wheels, like use them to flip cars, like use the sponsorship wheels to flip cars on Marketplace. Yeah, it's weird stuff. And you got to stay on, it's herding cats at the end of the day. It sounds insensitive. None of our drivers are cats or anything. But when we spread out so big, so fast, and like I said, it's not because we don't care. It's just like, dude, we got containers coming in. We got new pricing to set for next year. We're trying to develop new product. We got a Black Friday sale. We got a lot going on. We are not a sports marketing agency. Mm-hmm. So as like a lot of brands, you got to wear a lot of hats, like small brands. So some days we're the marketing company, put the marketing hat on. We hammer through sponsorship emails. And other days we are the logistics company, where we got to figure out these tariffs that are happening, and we got to figure out our 3D printer is down. We're trying to develop, like, we got a lot going on. So I only say that not as a cop out, but like I just want some transparency. Like, we are not 100. We always put our best effort into making sure every sponsorship is utilized, but sometimes it ain't always so rosy, you know. And I want more people to realize that no one's here to wipe your butt on sponsorships either. So it's a two-way street, like you're saying. You got to follow up. It's got to be an active relationship, because otherwise it gets real weird real fast.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
And if nothing's written down, especially, forget it. You know.
God,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you got to get stuff in writing, and we're gonna keep improving though. We are gonna continuously aim to just have a super dialed system so where you get a response faster. Hopefully we get another person in here to help with some of that stuff. I think it really needs a dedicated person. No, it's 5. Someone went into the warehouse and they shouldn't have.
Oh.
Yeah, they closed the warehouse in 5 and somebody went out there.
Oh, you're good.
I'll try and pick up where we left off.
Sponsorships.
Yeah, we're always trying to improve. So, and we're open to feedback too. Like I love to learn from some other brands, big and small, and how they do it, because I'm always fascinated. Like I didn't know Monster Energy just had a hat deal. Like you just get paid to wear a hat. And
I found that out through Vaughn.
Yeah. I was like, wow, sign me up. Like, where's the Kansei hat deal? Like, just rock. I think that has an effect on people. You see someone just wearing a hat. Back to the symbolism earlier.
I'm wearing a hat every time I'm seen in public.
No,
pretty much. So
we need to have more like creative options like that, because some people, like I said, aren't ripping up the podium. You know, some people are just really rad people. There's a Drake quote from a song that I really like where he says, Nike doesn't pay me to say just do it, they pay me to do it. So he's like living Nike brand. Oh. Wow. They'll get it.
That's funny. Well, I guess on that note, for pitches and all that, what is the most common one I guess you get? Because that's got to be the ones you're trying to stay away from, right?
No, I mean, I guess you just call them stance cars that just go to a bunch of shows, which is great. I mean, I think the indoor show scene is really thriving. I mean, Elephant in the Room, Gatlinburg. Sorry to mention, but indoor shows will always have their place, and I guess I call them indoor shows, but the ones that are in convention halls and they spill outside sometimes. But yeah, we get and we like to see our wheels at those too. But I know a lot of that is judged, and probably the more expensive wheels usually get picked. It's not always the most one-to-one marketing for us, but that's probably a more common one that we get. Is the show car stuff, stance show car stuff, which is cool. We'll always take it. There's some really, I still always love the FRSs and 86s people do. There's so much creativity with that car. Like they just, especially with our wheels, they do really cool stuff.
I've never been a huge fan of the way that chassis looks.
It's not the craziest looking, but when you throw a Rocket Bunny kit or something like that, and I like it. I think it's something about it. And they could take a super deep wheel, which is always cool once they become wider, obviously. The other most common one that we get is I guess grassroots drivers. They're trying to find their style, they hit a lot of events in their local area. And it's nice that they're in an area that we don't really reach sometimes, like Ohio, Midwest. We don't really, we could always use more people there. So we get a lot of those, yeah. And then FD people, Pro Spec, come our way, yeah. Pro Spec guys are and
so
girls.
You try to stay primarily focused on drifting.
We do. It's the best for
100%.
Product validation. It's wheels are using competitively. It's a little tough sometimes because they need so many, and they can kind of wipe us out. So we
How
need.
much is one team usually?
Like 20.
Okay.
Yeah, usually 20. The better teams, honestly, less. Like some people are like, just give me 3 fronts. I'm like, wow. All right.
Alrighty then.
Can I just give you 4 so we make it easy? Yeah, a lot of 3 fronts I've seen. Like these are the good dudes that know their cars, know their setups. the cars that will do a whole drift event come back with all their body panels, like still looks like a show car when it's done, like those type of guys, and girls. But yeah, and we have a lot of people that are just down to buy them at just give me a discount, like not looking for the world, just hey, help me out. I need a bunch. Obviously, I'm in this sport, so what can you do for me? And I always like to say, hey, do you want a lot of strings attached or do you not? Because that, like again, back to transparency. It's like, what are you down for? Because some people are like, oh, I got a media guy. I got someone that runs my IG. I'm plugged in. I'm ready to work for you. I'm ready. And you have other people that are like, dude, I post once a month. I don't know. And we obviously, everyone should get a separate deal. If whatever you're down with, because also we don't want to make people do stuff they're not comfortable with either. Like some people, if you only post once a month and we tell you to post 3 reels a month, it's kind of weird, and it comes off really corny. Like, and what are you gonna say after the first? Like, what can you really say? You can talk about how they fit. You can talk about how durable they are, how to mount a tie. I don't know. Like you just kind of, it's really hard. So another thing that really benefits us too is if you come to us with ideas, because we have our ideas and they're always kind of the same, but depending on what you're good at, some people just make funny content and it's still kind of serious in a way, or some people make really serious content that's not funny at all, but you need both in your recipe for a brand, like reach this audience and or if it's like Danny Duncan, just do whatever, like just come up with, everyone's different. So it's just really hard to gauge all this stuff. And you think it would get easier the more you do. And it does. And the conversations get easier. But at the same time, every once in a while, you get thrown like a totally new scenario. And you're like, oh, man, like you're 8,000 miles away. Like I would love to do something with you. We got to start somewhere. Let's try and hammer this out. Let's get creative. Let's think of something new together. But
I've
please,
been one of those weird ones. Every company I've talked to is like, we're gonna have to figure out because this is different than anything we've dealt with.
Yeah. And the more like you being the applicant, the more you bring to the table, the better. Because we're slammed. Like we are trying to, we're a small company. We're trying to get through like the day wearing different hats. So if you come to us and be like, dude, I could give you 3 reels a year, product testimonial, Dropbox after every event, logo on the car. The more you can, let's make it easier on us. Think of it like a job interview. The people that are interviewing you have been doing interviews all day long. And they don't want to fish stuff out of you. Just present yourself well. Come to the table with some ideas, even if they're ideas we've done before. Like, hey, I'll give you a product testimonial after a round. Boom. It's already a step up. Just help us help you, because until we get a full-blown marketing team, and I hope we don't still get too corporate at that point to where it's too formulaic, because we like talking to our drivers and joking with them, like going through situations. Maybe they, banged a wheel on a wall and they need one overnighted or something. We're down to figure all that out. But especially when you're first approaching a band, just have some stuff kind of penciled out. Don't just say, hey, I'm doing 10 events this year. Here's a screenshot from my Apple Notes of the events. Like, nah, like, don't just come up, That's great. A lot of people are going to events, It's like the Wayne's World quote. Like, yeah, a lot of people's girlfriends are back there. Yeah. My girlfriend's back there. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of girls are back there.
It's almost like people just don't really know what to pitch, like as far as
they don't.
a deliverable, so they just try and oversell themselves.
Yeah, there's no rules essentially, and a lot of people, like, we're just weekend warriors, and you're like a pipe fitter during the week, or you're doing, you're working at the airport doing slinging luggage or something, and then you gotta like drift all weekend. Yeah, you don't have a PR like team, or you're just trying to do your best, but talk to your buddies that are in the sport too. People have, made a few legs up, or, just try and look at other industries too, how they're doing it. Like maybe it's not even a competition thing, but like brand ambassadors and stuff, to try and get some sort of, I'm not gonna say cheat, but like steal the knowledge from somewhere else. You know, it's all out there. You just got to kind of know where to look. And and if you're saying, oh, I don't want to do that, that's like lame. Like, well, everyone else is kind of outworking you then, because everyone else is researching it. And if you want your team or your program to succeed, it's a competition on and off the track. You know, yeah, you think some people like, oh, I've been podium in my grassroots series. You know, hand it over. It's like podiums are cool too.
I feel like maybe 20% of it is actually on track.
Yeah, it really is.
If that.
You got, yeah, a lot of it now, of course, is definitely lifestyle. It's like, what's this person doing off track that's interesting and cool that I can get into and follow? That's what we want to do at the end of the day. We're all social media, you're just following personalities. Like, people are their own brands now. And
Do you feel, Nate mentioned this in his podcast that just came out. Do you feel the personality and like sponsoring that in that way for drifting is hurting drifting? Because you go to like road racing and it's a very structured, like
No,
you go
'cause I
off
think
data.
drift, yeah, oh yeah, I know. And
So,
I know
like-
they're trying that with certain drift leagues, getting all telemetry and nerding out on that stuff. No, I think drifting will always be such a style forward form of motorsport. You gotta have some. The cars have personality. You know, they're not homogenized stock cars. You know, they're all different chassis and aero and wheels, obviously, and stuff like that. So
Wouldn't that help a lot more on the sponsorship side?
yeah. Oh
Like
yeah.
just being able to understand and
Yeah.
I guess see more proof of concept.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It's something we always try to grow and learn. And I don't think I'll ever be the master at sponsoring, you know. I hope I'm not. I hope there's someone out there better than me that can you know, help us out with this.
Do
So.
you get an influx of sponsorship proposals when you come out with new wheels?
Of course. Oh yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
I've
We get
always
an
wondered if
influx
that
from-
correlates.
We get an influx from existing drivers that want the new wheel, that just got a shipment, a stack, and they, oh, I want that one now.
Oh,
It's
hey,
like,
by the way, the new, no, I'm just kidding.
oh yeah. Watch out. But no, dude, yeah, it's and yeah, and that's a tricky area too, because like, yes, you want promo on your newest product, but you got to remember too, we already knew these wheels are coming, so we already mapped out who we wanted to do placements with. That was already figured out like months ago. So I know, you know, no offense to the guys that text me personally on the day something dropped. Oh, what about me? And it's like, nothing personal. It's like, we only had a certain amount of samples that we coordinated. We got those placed with very specific media in mind, like fully produced shoots, you know, fully worked out shot list and timelines and everything. And yes, eventually we want to roll that out to like our existing drivers and stuff like that. But with a new product, you want to sell it first. We got to get some sales going, and then and the inventory. We usually bring in a small run to start because we're trying out a new product. You know, you never know how a wheel's gonna go. Like any design product, you just really you have your best effort forward, but you don't know where it's gonna end up. So
What number do y'all guess at then? Like, what? How many are y'all ordering for a brand new?
We like to
drop?
order a container of a new wheel, so it's usually 900 pieces. And also, when you're developing wheels, there are minimums like MOQs with the factory that we have to meet, and that whether that's finish, bolt pattern, width, offset, depending on how the wheel is designed. So we go heavy on the stuff that we know, on the specs that we know work, 18, 9.5, 22, and you know the fitments that we all know and love. And then sometimes on a new wheel, we try new fitments too. Like, oh, we never had a high offset wide wheel. Like we never had a plus 35, 10.5. Let's try that for this run. People have been asking. Yeah, why not? The Corvette guys,
offset, make them fit.
yeah. I agree. They look best deep, but yeah. So we're trying some stuff out, and especially with the way the world's going now, we gotta be risk adverse on what we're bringing in. You know, yeah, they're kicking our butts, and also we brought in a lot of stuff we probably shouldn't have over the past years too. Like the brand was growing, so we expanded a lot of our SKUs too fast as well. Like we were like, oh, add this, add that, add this. Like the Neo in the satin gunmetal was probably not it didn't hit. Did not meet sales expectations, but I thought it was really cool. We all thought it was like next hot thing, but sometimes you just get humbled that way. And I don't think enough brands are talking about some of their misses. Like we all just think everyone's rolling in it, slanging this stuff. But
I hate that some wheels don't look as good online.
yeah, that's
Like,
that's
just
a whole
in
nother
general.
thing. That's a whole nother thing. Yeah, you got to touch and see and feel. And every wheel has its place too. But but when we come out with something new, we're very cautious of what we already have sitting back here too. Like we got to move some dusty boxes, I call them. Every brand has it, you ever see a brand do like a mystery box on their website? It's crap that didn't sell. You're getting a triple XL. I'm sorry. You're getting maybe, and it's going to be a weird design. Like your mystery boxes, there's no mystery. It's crap that they just could not move. We're going to throw in and still charge a lot for. But I get it.
That's why you're
I
never
respect,
satisfied when you open it.
I respect the game. I respect it because we all got space we could clear up. But yeah, so we take all that into consideration when we launch something new, and I don't want people to think, oh, when a container shows up, we got extras to spare. Yeah, we might for like certain specific media projects that we are curating behind the scenes. But no, we're not just throwing stuff at the wall and like seeing. We just can't anymore. It's just like the brand has grown so much that we just got to be more cautious of the moves we make, because we want to be around like a long time. And by being reckless and just slinging it, it's just it ain't it.
Yeah, you end up in a no offense, but like a custom offset situation back in the day where they just overbought inventory
It's easy,
for
man.
COVID.
It's
and
really easy to. It's a slippery slope. And I don't think in this industry, no one is running these super analytical forecasting softwares and this and that. You just got sales data. You got your audience. You kind of make your best decision on that. And you always try to make the best data-driven decision with what you have. But I'm telling you, not a lot of us are super sophisticated. Like, we probably are more than you think, but not compared to some of these giant like companies like Amazon, Walmart. We're not. This is still a motorsport.
People that are in drifting don't realize how small drifting actually is.
Very small, which is good and bad. But yeah, it's just part of it. And us being a brand for that scene, like we do sell a lot of street wheels too, which is where most of the wheels end up. But we want to be around a long time. We got to be cautious of every development. But eventually, we will work with all of our partners when their contracts kind of recycle and stuff. We'll get them the new cool stuff. We want our drivers to look cool too. Like, they should be on the latest and cool stuff. We don't want to hold anything from anything, but there need to be like detailed. There's got to be some definition to it. We start giving 20 wheels out to every driver when we'd have nothing to sell. Like, and what keeps the lights on here is selling wheels. So yeah.
Hold your horses.
Yeah. Well, we care about you. We're thinking about you, but there's got to be a system in place because we ain't gonna be around if we just start slinging. Everyone that asks, we gotta have some systems. So.
Well, I feel like, especially on Instagram and just social media, a lot of the questions you guys get is, when is this bolt pattern coming out? And this bolt.
Yeah.
So like, how long in that process of like ordering a container for a brand new wheel to, okay, now we need to step into some more bolt patterns?
Yeah, well, so some of the bolt patterns just don't make the cut because they just had poor sales history in the past. So it's really hard. Like 5x114 obviously is the most universal bolt pattern. 5x120 close second. 5x100 has its highs and lows. But like the Chrome Astros and Sevens we just dropped, it's been a weird year to say the least. So I will put it out there, like it's been a really hard year to plan with the whole tariff thing. So, the wheels went up 72.5%. So a wheel that, let's say, just for example, this is completely made up. If a wheel costed us $100, it now costs $172. You just add, it's almost double. So we didn't really drop anything new this year because we're trying to figure out other countries to manufacture in. And we've been wanting to drop the chrome wheels for a minute, especially the Astro. We should have done that from
Yeah, we were talking about that a year ago.
Yeah, yeah. And dude, we just could not pull the trigger. It was so hard. Every time we wanted to, so news would come out that tariffs are up, tariffs are down. You know, other countries are being affected. You know, Taiwan and like the neighboring countries where everyone else is trying to go to.
Dude, I've been waiting on a body kit from the Dominican for forever right now.
Forget it. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I see it with stuff I want to buy too. Like there's shoes I want to buy, and I've literally watched the price creep up. And I was like, wow, I slept. I should have got them when they were 130. Now they're 190. But yeah, dude, it's been a really tough year for planning because we are paying the increase. Like the brand is paying the increase. So like I said, $100 wheel and now costs us $172. So we got to pass that along. So when we drop the chrome wheels, we still want to keep the hype going, want to keep the brand, you know, vibrant, you know, because you got to drop new wheels, you got to have new stuff. But man, it was tough to pull the trigger and on what SKUs. So we really kind of just limited it to SKUs we knew would do well. And then once they kind of got out there, got some traction, then we'll add the 5x120. And other bolt patterns. It's really easy. Like the wheel already exists. Like the Astro and the 7, the molds are done. And drilling the bolt pattern is really just one of the last steps. So yeah, you just on the next run, like we'll just throw it in the next order kind of thing. You know, it's not the end of the world. I know people were like really thrown off that we didn't do this wide range that we normally do, but we had to be a little more targeted with this, just because it's just a funky time right now. That's the only reason, yeah. And chrome itself already cost us a lot more. Like getting
how much
wheels,
extra does that tack onto a wheel?
I can't say exactly. I can't share exactly. I do know, but it's a significant amount. Like between a painted wheel and a chrome wheel, it is pretty significant. So it really is a hardcore choice for us. Like, oh man, do we want to drop chrome? Because we got to charge more for it, which we always have. Like our chrome wheels, we've done Roku's for forever in chrome. And they've always been a significant percentage more, but yeah, we really got to look up our markup and our margin and, you know, still be priced where we want to be at the end of the day. Cause like we started creeping up into like gram lights territory. I'm like, whoa, this is not this is not the vision, you know, like, but of course, gram lights has gone up a lot too. They got tariffs, but, which are always changing. But, yeah, it's just been tough, man. Like we can eat so much. But like I said, we want to be around, guys. Like we want to stick around. So this is a business. This is not your buddy's garage. So we gotta have some systems in place. And one of those systems was like, all right, we got to be really selective on what we bring in on the chrome stuff. Yeah.
Well, you also mentioned the offset thing earlier. Do you think having that higher offset would actually defeat a lot of the people asking about different bolt patterns? Because now they have more space to just get a spacer that converts to their
Oh yeah, but you'll still get a more flatter wheel.
So that
you know
still fighting that.
Yeah, no. Yeah. I mean, eventually, like I said, we'll just roll out all the other bolt patterns that we're missing. You know, we'll next order, or maybe when tariffs come down, our pricing adjusts a little bit. We want to offer them for sure. Like we see the comments, like we know. And if everyone that commented bought the wheel at the end of the day, we'd be stoked. You know, it'd be rad. But no, yeah, we'll get there eventually. Just hang tight. You know, it's kind of hard to put that in a snazzy marketing message online. But and maybe we'll address it on like a social piece I'll do or something. But no, yeah, you gotta be strategic at this time right now. It's funky, man. So you gotta. Like I said, we want to be around, so we can't be so wacky with some of the decisions. So, yeah.
What made you guys choose? Because I know obviously the Astros were definitely coming in chrome, but what made you guys choose the 7s to do in chrome as well?
Well, I think it just looked rad. I really wanted to do black chrome. Was my personal choice. We couldn't get the factory to figure it out. We could figure it out, but it just didn't have the longevity on the salt spray tests that we liked. So we just, and it wasn't consistent either. Black chrome is really, really hard. I think other brands have tried it in the past. And chrome, everyone just loves chrome. Black chrome, you can kind of take it or leave it, but can't go wrong with chrome. I just thought it would look cool. The wheel's got some good concavity to it. It's got kind of like this hybrid lip. Yeah, we just thought it'd be fun to drop it in chrome. We always want to do the tandem in chrome.
I hear a lot of people ask
A
for
lot of
it.
people ask. Some people have done it. Some people have, but
Why not the KMP?
well, so there's two problems with the tandem and the KNP is the engraving, the lettering between the spokes on the tandem, the kind of raised lettering. Any wheel that you're chroming has to be stripped as to be obviously no finish on it, but has to be polished essentially before it gets chromed. So it's really hard for a chromer to get in between those little letters and get it to look. You could do it; it'll look crappy.
And so that's already in the mold. That
Yeah, it's
little,
already in the mold.
okay,
Yeah, it's
okay.
casted in. So the KNP has it casted at the the 12 o'clock kind of position there. Now we could remove that, and it's a tough decision because it's like our branding on there, But yeah, I mean, we see the comments, we get it, we do, but man, it's a tough call at the end of the day to remove those markings. But that's kind of why the tandem ended up being hyper silver, is because we couldn't figure out the chrome. We just could in the early days. We bailed, and then we settled on hyper silver, which was cheaper, which was nice. Looked really cool. Yes, it's not chrome, but it really pops in the sun. And it's easier to clean, lower maintenance and all that. But I think we have some more concave wheels that we want to come out with next year that will definitely have a tandem-like effect, but be chrome. Yeah. So they'll be they won't have any weird features that stop them from being chrome going forward. Just like the 7 here.
So that's just automatically going to be implemented in design
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. So we haven't done wheels with like funky engraving since we learned from that. We're like, oh shoot, if we ever wanted to come out with this wheel in chrome, we can't do it with any type of lettering like that. So that's why you see the 7 doesn't have any, the Astro doesn't have any. Yes, it has the JWL VIA marks, and even then they can't really sand down in there.
All the more reason you just need to do the shark.
Yeah,
Just got to do the shark randomly
fun
somewhere,
little stuff. Yeah, we should do shark center caps. Well,
There you
gel
go.
cap,
Yeah,
special
we'll do the
edition.
spinning ones.
Yeah.
The gravity ones.
Yeah, we thought about that.
Man.
So yeah,
Speaking of those, dude, the gel center caps they hit.
yeah,
That
they're
is
fun.
the best.
More colors coming,
Oh my
by the
God.
way. More
Really?
colors coming, yeah. You know what color we got requested for in Tennessee? Could you imagine?
Orange?
Yeah.
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 I mean, yeah. Typical.
Ryan came back from that show and he's like, dude, people are asking for orange. And I was like, I didn't put it together at first. And Bill over here was like, oh yeah, because you were in Tennessee. That's why. And I was like, oh yeah, probably. But we got to do more colors. We dropped 2 new colors this year, which is super exciting. Acid colors, super cool. Gold lettering on like dark purple, dark green. Those are a ton of work too. Like developing that stuff is you're working with artists and designers and getting the packaging right. The packaging was a big deal. Took us a long time to perfect that, looking at cardboard samples. We do all that stuff here. Like we nerd out like on
It's so weird to think that there's like an actual packaging engineer.
Yeah.
Like that designs.
We look at the
certain ways.
templates.
Oh, it's so odd.
We look at the Pantones. We got like the little Pantone book. Like we're going out in the sun. We're going out in the back, like looking at it in all conditions. We like developing stuff here. We really do. And I think we should share more of that. Because it's a labor of love, and we like what we put out. So everything is not just ordered off of Alibaba. It's like we are getting in almost too deep on some of the stuff we develop, and having a lot of fun with it though.
I think a lot of that helps distinguish what companies are considered fake wheels or not fake wheels or whatever, because it's all just the people that are running it and the work that goes into the designs.
Yeah, I think we talked about this last time you were here, but yeah, you can go a lot of different ways. You could literally go on Alibaba and start a cast wheel company like tomorrow, or even a forge wheel company. Yeah, you could tell them the logo you want on the cap. They got existing designs you could pick from. You could send them a TE and an RPF1, and you could say put these together. They'll have it rendering for you the next day. Yeah, it's crazy. People are now even like willingly saying, "Hey, I just got my $300 Alibaba wheels, like beadlocks, like for my Scat Pack." Like, people are are putting it out there. Like, it's like crazy now because the deals are because you're going factory direct. It's crazy, and the factories now are just down to make just 4 wheels. Like, there's literally like entire factories in China that are like 100 CNC mills like lined up. It's like bzzz, cranking. So they'll got like a sales rep over there that's just sitting on Alibaba at night, and our night, their day. And if you literally wanted wheels, and you could get some exact copies of something, like too good, or you can make your own.
You want some
Custom
Workmeister
yeah.
3-piece?
Oh, yeah.
Say whatever brand.
Oh yeah, or even have it say work, or even have it say made in the USA. I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, you could do wacky stuff on there. So there's a spectrum, There's companies like that, and then there's like giant companies that are 100% in-house design, engineering, casting. When I say in-house, casting in-house. And then there's people like us in the middle who are designing, developing, engineering, working with a factory, and then still getting what they want in the end, but being super involved through the whole process. So
yeah, well, y'all have almost like I guess, heritage style.
Yep.
So
Yep,
you
totally.
pull a lot of details
Yeah,
and stuff from
yeah.
older wheels, and how do you find those details, and how do you choose what's too far from the design and what's copying too much?
It's tough. With every wheel we learn, but I have my own personal taste, obviously, for what I want to see, and we know what works well with like wheels in the past, like the Tandem and Astro. What elements about that we like. I like to think that we like to have rounded edges on a lot of stuff. You don't see a lot of wheels with rounded spoke edges. It's always straight or like really angular chamfer stuff. But like even here, like the radius in between spokes is like the Tandem, and we play around a lot with radiuses. Yeah, when we would never. Obviously the Tandem isn't a pretty explicit nod to the factory R34 wheel. There's no getting around that. That was our whole intention from day one.
It really reminds me of battles.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time I see one, I'm like, that is a round spoked battle.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. It's got the same vibe. And the battle is actually kind of back,
Yeah.
But also you could say it reminded you of grenades too.
That too, yeah.
There's
There's so many wheels. It's hard to make
it
your
is
own
hard,
design
and,
at this point.
I like to pack in like little details that people might miss sometimes. Like we did pack in some cool details on the 7 that I think was missed initially because it just right out of the gate, people were like, "Oh, RPF1," but I would argue that there's other exact copies of the RPF out there that we just didn't go that route. Like obviously 7 spokes being one of them, but the detailing, the little kind of like groove around each of the small windows. The lip profile is much more like a Graham Lights TE kind of style, the way the lip kind of comes back. We never had a lipped wheel like this. We'd either go all the way to the face or we'd have like a nice step lip like the K&P. So yeah, we like to pack in little features. I think we could do a better job of like really breaking down each wheel, and like I want to do more of like a design and development video soon that shows you like from scratch how we design something, to like nerd people out on what I do. Most of my day is playing in SolidWorks and messing, because when you work within a certain program, I don't know if it's video editing or beat making, you could copy something one for one. Like, if you sat down and you had like a program to make song beats, you could reverse engineer a popular song, and you would make deliberate steps to copy that song. But you could also take deliberate steps not to, and have it sound kind of similar, but it would be different enough, all in the steps you took behind the scenes. Yes, the finished product, someone will go, "Oh, that's a copy of that." But like no one sees like the steps that got to the 2 different places. And I think that has a lot of intention behind design too, that should be like more communicated. Because there are like little things that most of the time you see a wheel from 30 feet away, and it's easy to just kind of
Yeah.
blur your eyes
boom,
and
same,
make
whatever.
that association. But there's also a lot of people out there that like a certain wheel but don't want it. They want something like it but not the same. Like, well, everyone's got those. I want like something from a different brand. Just like there's different car companies out there. Like there's a reason the Accord looks like the Camry. They're both the same market, same price point. But they got there different ways. Are they copies of each other? No, but they are the same thing at the end of the day. Some people are like, "Oh, I love Honda. That resonates with me." And people are like, "No, F Honda. Like, I'm a Toyota guy. If I'm getting a boring car, and they're not boring anymore. Now they're like fast and cool." But like, you go for the product that speaks to you the most. Back to like, do you wear Reebok or do you wear Under Armour or do you wear Nike? Like, you buy the brands that you associate with, even though they all make the same thing. Blue jeans, all the cheeseburgers in your town, or the pizza in your town. They all make pizzas, but you're gonna go to the one that you get down with. You're like, oh no, these people, they're always playing like soul music in there. Like that's where I want to get my pizza from. Like that's where I want to, like, dude, I love the owner's always there. I'm down with that, like. Or like you go to a certain coffee shop because they have like cool branding. You're like, I feel cool going there. Like, this is what I'm into, like I'm into like a minimalist coffee shop, like down to business, like nerding out on the beans and all that. And then you got people that like, oh, I don't want to go to Starbucks. I want the corporate, big thing. So we're proud to offer stuff that, complements the scene, the marketplace, and this and that. But I think there's a lot of opportunity with so many brands that are out there right now. Like, as a consumer, you're going to go towards the one that you're just more down with. You're like, and I don't care what it is. Like, if it's like a company that puts something out that you're not down with, you might change your taste. Like, oh man, I used to be a hardcore VW guy, but once they started doing this hybrid, this and that, or they do some, I'm out. So what you buy and like what you're into has a big reflection of who you are. So there's going to be something for everyone at the end of the day. And if you are an OG hardcore JDM wheel guy, dude, we're not taking anything from you. Like, go for it. They're all, go on Yahoo Japan or go to Japan or go to Up Garage and go for it. Like, get your thing, because that's your thing. If it's a scale, people are all different kinds. Some people care a lot, some people don't care a lot. Some people just need some wheels to get them by on the track. Some people are trying to win their next show. But at the end of the day, you're going to get the product. Even it could be exactly the same, but you're gonna get down with the brand that you like and has your like personal connection to.
Yeah. Well, do you ever fear the trendiness of it then?
It's tough. Yeah.
Because I would
you
hate
wanna
to make
sell.
a wheel design and it just hit that trend for,
Oh yeah,
a couple months
dude.
or a year, and then
it takes
it's
so long
gone.
to develop a wheel too that you want to nail it out the gate. It takes like a year to develop a wheel. Honestly, you could do it faster. You could do it in 3 months if you really wanted
And that's
to.
from like the start of an idea to having one physically in your hand?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, it takes about 60 days to make the mold, the tooling in China, or I guess it doesn't matter where it gets made, Taiwan, Japan. It takes about 60 days to make the tooling, and then another week to cast the first run, work out the scraps and all that. But yeah, I mean it can go fast if you wanted to. We've gotten it down to a month one time. We really had to rush. For SEMA one time. Not super fun. I wouldn't recommend it. But I don't want to say a year and make people think like, what the F are you doing for a year? Like, what the heck? Like, no, it's like we'll 3D print some wheels. We'll show them around. I'll text you a picture. What do you think? All that kind of stuff. That's all. You don't want to rush, but you want to be like time sensitive. You don't want to put out some crap you're not gonna like. But yeah, you should take your time developing, get some feedback. That's one thing we've really learned over the years. We used to be very secretive with our wheel designs. Obviously, you don't want to post a concept online because it could get ripped like instantly. especially with the Alibaba stuff. But I think we want to have like a wheel council, like you, Scott, Duarte, inside, homies of the brand, Jason Farron in Australia, our media guys, even Vicente and Marcus, like get people that have worked with the brand and are sponsored by us, really get their take before we do anything. Has been more and more important to us. And so that's what takes some time. And then I got to stew on it too. Like as the wheel engineer and designer, I'm like, try not to think about it for a while. Then like, you're driving home, you're like, oh yes, like I should, put the spoke this, you do a little
Even
things.
just sleeping on it. Like
You always
it's
sleep on-
multiple
yeah.
times I've been through an edit and I'll get done with it. I'll keep watching it and I'm like, there's something weird about this. I just can't figure it out. And then just say, screw it for that night. Wake up the next morning and boom, you notice it.
Yeah. Got to stop thinking about it for a little bit. So that's what takes the most time. But just that kind of flux of, but also, you don't want to cash in too hard on the trends because you'll burn out.
Seems too
quick, so
unauthentic when you do that.
because wheels are going to be around a long time. Like we're not making like T-shirts or stuff that like disintegrates, or I don't know whether like consumable stuff. But yeah, like our wheels gotta be around a long time, and but like you said, some stuff will hit, some stuff won't. But we'll always put our best effort into it, and we'll learn from it too. You don't just learn on the drop either. Like you learn the year after. Like it's not over when it's over. It's like when it drops. It's like you learn. You think about it more after the fact. You're like, oh wow, like we've all put out stuff like we're not super stoked on too, but the best thing you can do is like learn from it. Be like, oh, and that sticks with you the best. Screwing up is the best teacher.
Which one have you had that realization on? Which wheel? That you weren't, after the fact, you weren't 100% satisfied on?
The Corsa was probably one it was just too plain. It's like our meshy sporty wheel. That one probably could have been a little bit cooler, looking back, especially knowing what I know about design now. I know so many more cool tricks in SolidWorks. And then the Neo, the chrome just took off, like was a outstanding success, but no one got down with the other colors. But I picked the white and I picked the satin gunmetal because I was living off the high of the Astro. The Astro dropped the year before the Neo, and it was insane. Oh yeah. We this is before our marketing was even super dialed. We had like some cell phone pictures. Shout out to Pat at Overdue. He got the first set on his white. He had white wheels on his red Supra. And man, it was it was controversial because no one had really done a wheel flip like that. Like it was like pretty on the nose with the Blitz. But being in the configuration that we did it, I thought set it enough apart that this wheel, the Blitz you ain't getting anymore. You're not getting, it's not happening. They were going for like $20K a set. Remember, I think like TJ bought some, or like or maybe
Adam's got them all.
He's got a bunch. But there was like, like whack specs were selling for way too much. You had to rebuild them no matter what. I always thought it was a cool looking wheel, but we had so much success with the tandem being like super deep concave. I was like, what if you took the Blitz idea and just made it a one piece? And then my whole thing too was like, this would be cool as like drift spares. If you had Blitz fronts and you didn't want to screw up your Blitz, you would just run our rears as like your burners. At least they kind of look the same. It was like one of my initial thoughts was like, just be like a supplement to your like baller wheel collection. Cause like, I guess you could run like VSKFs or some other kind of like rear, but for the guys that had like really baller drift wheels that still needed like this hybrid setup of like, their fun wheels and then like their down to business wheels, we could be that like supplement kind of thing,
Do you feel like that's possibly not good for the brand in the long run? Because doesn't that would almost like hide your wheels on the car? And
Yes
they
and
wouldn't
no.
hardly be noticed.
It's kind of cool because I mean you still see them when the car is stopped, you know. But I thought it'd be kind of cool that we could just complement the expensive wheels. You know, like don't run the triple spray painted over XXRs, you know, in the back. At least run ours, you know, and we could be like, and we've even posted on our IG like someone with gram lights in the front and like ours in the back because it's like, yeah, it's cool to, you know, mix and match. You know, it's kind of like it doesn't always have to be so on the nose branded. You know, we want to be kind of fluid and complement what's out there. And it's cool that people get creative and like will run fronts and rears different. They're always usually the same color, but I thought it was kind of cool and just different to complement and like be like I said, just a supplement to like, you know, more high end wheels out there, but still have enough, you know, steez to kind of hold our own. But
Especially, well, I guess if you're not trying to be that high-end wheel company anyways.
we're
Then,
not
yeah.
trying to be. We want to put all the high end effort into what we do, but we want to be priced, you know, right in the middle. 'Cause that's what we always saw. It's like there was like really crappy wheels out there, and then like really high end for the Japanese scene. I'll say now we bled out into so much more. But yeah, like, I always saw like Rotiform was like the throwback brand for the Euro guys. 1552 was like the throwback kind of brand for the Rally, Ford, also some Euro stuff. And I was like, man, no one's messing with the Japanese like segment. Like that's the scene. I'm not a VW guy. I'm not a Rally Cosworth. I don't nerd out on that stuff. You know, always had Japanese cars. So, and I was like, dude, what's the middle ground? Like, no one's doing a fun throwback brand like those guys were just for this scene. So that's really where like the bulk of the inspiration came from. And I was going to a lot of shows back in the day where I would see super baller wheels. And I was like, man, you shouldn't have to track your super baller wheels. You should have something that looked just as cool, but you didn't worry about if you smoked one, you know? So that's all that kind of like was like the recipe for Kansei.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, do you ever, I mean, is there ever a plan to possibly do a 3-piece or anything more
3-piece,
substantial?
no. There is some 2-piece stuff we
Okay.
are working on. Yeah. It's going to be completely new for this space. I will say. It won't be like the way we did it before. We were not the best at it before. We did forge 2-piece back in the day. They looked awesome. They were killer marketing tools, but man, they were a ton of work to produce. Even though we were building them here in-house, I was doing all the engineering for them to order, and I had to put my salesman hat on and like walk people through what their wheels were going to look like, because everyone wants to see, you know, how much lip I'm going to get, how much, you know. But working with people's brakes, which a lot of times they don't even know, the specs, they're shooting for the moon to get the biggest lip, and I got to walk them back down to like, okay, you got a TSX where like 35 is pushing it, you know? So there was just a lot of like learning, like we were cutting our teeth on kind of doing them. They came out sick. I think we probably sold, I don't know, 20, 30 sets back in the day. They definitely made an impact in the scene. People still hit us up. They cost us a lot to make. We're not proud of like the retail price we put on them because it took so much engineering to get them done. The parts were expensive. They were all U.S. parts, U.S. made and everything. The centers and the hoops were all U.S., but we were just growing the brand so aggressively. And fortunately that the cast wheels, when I say cast, I really mean they're all flow form, but they were just, 20-1. They were just like in the box ready to go. So we really just shifted our focus to like optimizing the flow form program. And we just had to cut the 2-piece stuff loose. But we do have some cool stuff coming. And it's going to be a lot better priced than we did in the past. Yeah. Actually, I went to this factory in China while I was over there. Yeah, I got to see them. A lot of other big brands were doing it. So we gotta get on it fast. It's getting out there for sure. But yeah, it's a completely new way to do 2-piece wheels.
Oh
Yeah,
shit! You
it's
can't give
really
any
cool.
hints on it at all.
It has a cast center. I'll tell you that.
Cast center. Okay.
Just like like a Workmeister
Wow.
or all the older work wheels. They all had a cast center. And those are multi-piece, like bolt together. These will be welded, but it'll be a cast center, so we'll be able to get a forged hoop, but a cast center, so we'll be able to get the price right where we want it. Yeah. It's a game changer, and you can get more detail into the design by doing more of the details we like. Obviously, you can cut cool designs with the mill, but you can do some really cool stuff with a cast center.
Well, how do you mean?
Like
as
some of the
far as
rounded
face of the
edges
wheel?
and a little bit more like organic shapes in the center design.
Oh,
you can do
like does
cooler.
it just hold structure better? I assume.
Oh well,
then?
that too. Yeah. It's interesting when you cast just the center. It's a lot less mass to be the mold to fill up with molten aluminum and be cooled and cured and all that. When it's a complete wheel, you got the whole barrel. You got you're casting all that. But when you cast just the center, it really concentrates the casting to that area, especially when it comes to the heat treat and the artificial aging that happens to get it to T6, which is, you always hear about 6061 T6. That's the heat treat and artificial aging part of it. That can be so much more concentrated to make a stronger center.
That's interesting.
Yep. Yeah. It's when you cast a whole wheel, not that it's weak, but I'm saying you're casting a large object. It's harder to control the mass and the thermal properties of it when you're, But if you just literally casting a third of it, just the center, it's a lot stronger. So yeah, and the quality, the porosity, the properties of it are significantly better. So it's fascinating. Yeah, we just learned this. Yeah, we went over there.
What? That's fucking wild. Does it make the center of it heavier?
No, because you can have more liberty with the design. You can open up the design a little bit because it is a little more stronger. So you could pocket deeper on the back of the wheel.
Like
You
skinnier spokes and stuff like that.
You can't go
Not
crazy. It's
that.
not a lot of forge wheel,
Yeah.
but it has a very favorable properties than just
I'm excited to see that then.
Yeah, well, we're working on it hard. As long as these tariffs don't screw us up, we're gonna try and bring you guys something that's really gonna be interesting. I'll show you a picture. On my computer, or I think I have it on my phone, but I'll show you what it is.
If all things go smooth, what would be the timeline of expectation?
Man, I would love to see him here before our tax sale.
Okay.
Next, we do a Black Friday sale and tax sale, which will be April. So I'd love to see him. They're supposed to be here already, but the world had other ways with the economy. So
hopefully
kind of hard to plan, like I was saying. But yeah, hopefully early next year would be rad. Yeah.
Now let me ask you this. So on the topic of like 2-piece, 3-piece, and all that stuff, if someone was to come to you and be like, "Hey, I want this Chrome 7, but cut the face out and just make it a 3-piece," because I know like technically you guys make 3 pieces here. Like, is
2-piece.
that
We make
even?
2-piece
Or
here, yeah.
sorry, yeah,
Yeah,
2-piece. Would something like that even be possible?
Physically, yes.
Okay.
But from a logistics and like company and like engineering perspective, not. Oh, it's gonna cost a lot. Cutting the center out of this is gonna cost us $200. We got to take it to it. We don't have a machine big enough to cut the center out. You need a special lathe and special jaws for that. So I got to take it up the street, and it's gonna cost me $200 to cut the center out. That just is what it is, Or I could probably spend $1,200 and get the tooling here to do it, but and then the center of a cast wheel, when you have a 1-piece cast wheel like this, isn't really meant to be drilled into for bolts for 3-piece. It's just not legit. Yes, there's some crazy Instagram page. I don't know if they're in Indonesia or somewhere in Southeast Asia. They're like converting any wheel you bring to them. Like, it's a fascinating. They'll do really sick stuff. But I kind of wonder about the legitimacy of like the strength because there's no way to test for that afterwards. Like a one-piece wheel is tested physically and like through FEA, finite element, on the computer. But once you chop it up and rehoop it to Lord knows what specs, I don't know where we're going to end up. So it'd be hard to like stand behind that product from like a liability standpoint, because it probably looks sick, probably be cool. There are shops out there that do it.
Yeah, I mean, you see all the time. I think it's like 3-piece USA. They'll cut the center of like an OEM wheel.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But an OEM wheel would be way more structurally sound.
They're all
doing
cast
something
wheels.
like that.
No, they're all
okay.
cast.
Then
Yeah, sure, it'd be more heavy duty. OE wheels are like built like tanks. Like, they can't have any liability of a wheel. No one can have a wheel mess up, especially like a multi-billion-dollar company like Toyota. I mean, they have bigger fish to fry when it comes to liability than wheels cracking, but those are engineered with an office building of lawyers and engineers and scientists. Like they ain't. And they're also, when it comes to like an OE like that, they're making a Camry wheel, for example. They're making millions of one piece. So they got it pretty good. Yeah. So the wheels are engineered fantastically, as they should be. But yeah, I mean, I think it looks really cool, but me coming from like an engineering, like company branding, like I can't get down with it. I think it is super cool. As a wheel designer, I love seeing like the flips people do with wheels and this and that. But structurally, I'm just like, I don't know what's going on there. But it probably is fine. But you wouldn't know until you made a batch of them, sent them off to get tested in a lab, which they do. There's places in Ohio and stuff but they need a lot, and it's kind of hot rod, I guess. It's kind of running and gunning, which is still rad and like progresses the scene. But I think a wheel, if it's gonna be multi-piece, should be developed multi-piece from the beginning. And I would just be worried about like the longevity of, and also people are running tiny tires on them. Usually when you get like a lot of camber,
at 130 psi,
static setups. It's a weird combination. From some of the stuff we've even seen people run our wheels on, you got to get some rubber between your wheel and the road. And we've beefed up our lips 3 times to try and like combat that. But at the end of the day, and we've made huge improvements. Like our inner lip now is like it's like added weight to the wheel. But we are sick of people cracking the inner lips. But really, it's only so much you can do when there's no tire. Your wheel should not touch the pavement. There's only so much we can do, guys.
You're literally riding on the rim.
Yeah,
like,
you
what
hit
else?
a pothole and then wham, and yes, some wheels, can take it, but that energy is going somewhere else. But just, think of that. Think of physics just a little bit when you're putting a 215 on like a 11-inch wheel, or a 10. When that lip is hanging out, there's nothing there. Do what you want, but just don't come at us hot going like, hey, what's up with my wheels? When like, dude, you're kind of running a setup that's kind of pushing it, Just please do yourself a favor. I know it looks sick to have like a crazy setup, or maybe you did it on different wheels before, but like we're trying to make these wheels light and sporty, so we can't make them complete tanks. Unless we would like to have an indestructible wheel. You really can't for drifting too at the end of the day, because we got people competing at the highest level saying, dude, I would rather a wheel fail than my subframe or my rack or my,
saved me.
Yeah. I don't know if we talked about this before, but
competitive.
What's easier than those 5 bolts, the 5 lugs right there?
Yeah.
What's better than that? So popping that wheel off, toss it to the side. Wheels in motorsport are just a tool. It's not your coveted thing like it would be on the street.
Yeah.
So
but it does make your car.
It does make your car.
Does make your car.
Much like shoes make the outfit. You got to have some swag and some style in there. But yeah, just those are one of I want to put that out there. Like if you're running a super stretch tire on a super cambered setup, you got to know what you're getting yourself into, no matter what wheel you're running, you know. But please let us know. We'll try and help you out, get you a replacement, get you set up on something new. But just hit us up and be like, dude, I messed up, you know. If you're gonna have an issue with a product, just be straight up. Like, don't. I know like Amazon has ruined like return culture. You can just return anything you want because you know, and I'm guilty of it. I'll buy 2 sizes of a jacket and I'll return the medium. We've all done it, but like when you're working with like smaller brands, just keep that in mind. You know, like just it's a lot easier if you're like anything in life. Just be straight up. You know, even good or bad. Just say it. It just helps. You know. We might give you a few extra bucks off if you just like, oh yeah, dude, I stuffed it. I was looking at my phone, I was rushing, it was raining, wham, hit a pothole. Yeah,
That's really cool.
Yeah, just hit us up.
I
We're
saw
car
that on
dudes here. We're people here.
Instagram too. Some dude commented about he cracked his wheel, and that's literally what y'all said. Just DM us.
Yeah, just hit us
We'll figure
up.
it out.
We'll get you dialed. You know, we can't give you free wheels, but we'll at least hear you out. We want your feedback. We want to get better. Like I said, we're on version 3 of our inner lip now, so we just keep beefing it up. So yeah, just be straight up, and we'll help you out.
Yeah. Well, speaking of feedback, you notice sometimes on wheels they'll have the grooves on where the bead sits.
Oh yeah.
Have y'all thought about implementing that, or
yeah,
like...
we're gonna start doing that. I'm gonna be honest, it doesn't really do a whole lot.
Does it? I don't know. That's why I was
I'm
bringing it
gonna
up.
have to shed some light on that. It looks really cool. It's great for marketing. You probably wouldn't really notice it at like super high level or of competition or really low air pressure, but it's called knurling on the bead seats, and just to help the tire slipping within the rim. And this could happen to any rim. It usually doesn't, because an 18-inch tire is 18 inches, and a wheel that's 18 inches is 18 inches. So they fit together pretty perfectly. But I could see under like high stress or high banked track, high horsepower car, yes, you could see some slippage. Will that affect your performance at the end of the day? It's up for debate, you know. I personally like it. I think it's a nice performance aspect to add to a wheel. Whether it really makes a difference for the street driver is
I couldn't see it for the street driver.
Is not. There are other cooler things you can do to bead humps that I won't get into because I don't want to give away any cool secrets. There's a lot you could do. But just the knurling on there, I think the consumer or our customer might see that and be like, oh, I got to have that, you know. But it's a cool feature for sure. And we do want to start implementing it because like we want to complement the marketplace. I think we should have it. But, you know, a lot of the tires spinning on the rim too, people got to think about at the competition level, think about your gearing, your wheel speeds, your tire pressures, side bite. Think about that. The banks of the track, your suspension, compression, rebound, all that stuff. Odie really put me on too. In the early days, like I was really stressing out about some of the feedback we get from like debeating. And I was like, it's our first year doing FD with some pro and pro spec, pro 2 at the time drivers, and debeating happens on all wheels and all tires. It just happens, you know. It could just be a super old tire, it could be a hot day, cold day, temperature, you know. And Odie really put me on. He's like, dude, it's not always the tire and wheel. Like, if your compression, your rebound, your suspension, the weight of the car, if you're not like corner balance right, like that could take a tire off too. You know, the tire is absorbing maybe more than it should, flexing to get that air to, you know, pop over the bead. So there's always more to it than just, oh, there's a wheel problem. You know, it's something wrong with the.
Was there still something that you could do within the wheel design to
I'm
help
not telling you that
too?
Oh, I'm not telling you that.
All right, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair.
I'm not telling you that. But oh yeah, there's some cool stuff you could do. Yeah. But and I could tell you off mic, but yeah, that's for us to know and implement, and we will let you know when we do that. We won't even say what it is, but we'll put a cool little term on it. But there's some stuff already out there too. Other brands are trying. But yeah, there's some stuff you can do. But also, you got to be careful because you do some super cool stuff and you can't get a tire off. So it's a fine line. You think, oh, I need this grip, I need the tires bead locked, it's all gonna be clamped down. Like, well, you gotta bust through tires at an event. Like if it's a bitch to get the tire off, then
You got to mount 20 of them things.
Yeah.
Whew.
Or a bitch to get the bead to seat too. Yeah. You're putting 120 psi in there to get it to seat. Like the bomb. You want to be easy to mount. It's a fine line. People really like to freak out. Well, how come you're not doing this? And how come you're not doing that? Well, it's like you're getting the marketing from a lot of this aspect, but you're not actually you're not like really. You might not even have experience with it. I always like to tell people it's like if you're snowing or skiing or snowboarding, it's like, well, I gotta have the jacket with like the avalanche beacon in it. I was like, well, are you doing any backcountry stuff? Like, oh yeah, at the resort, there's like one little backcountry thing, and it's like, well, there's all these important features to like high level hobbies that don't always are necessary for some of the other levels of the sport.
Yeah, I mean, same thing in drifting.
Yeah. And there's people drifting in stock 350Zs with a roll bar, and they're having a lot of fun. So don't just throw your wallet into the fire to say I need this, without understanding like, oh dude, I've been shredding for years on like stock BRZ, those are my drift spares, like the stock whatever I can get from the
cool. Congrats.
I never debeated, like yeah, all right, cool.
Doesn't look as good, but whatever.
Yeah, and I don't think any people at even like the lower levels of the sport are running 8-12 psi on a tire to where you're gonna see debeating or spinning or anything like that. Like there's been some high level people that we work with that had some good feedback, but they were at the extreme end of the spectrum. But like Odie said too, there's more to it than just the wheel, the tire. It's the weather that day, suspension. It's a bunch of other
always
stuff.
a different.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's always more to it. So give yourself that, courtesy of like just thinking about it a little bit and really looking at why do I need that? Yeah. But there's some cool stuff we could do, and we're gonna start doing here pretty soon that you'll see. It's gonna be, but still be practical. That's gonna be our whole thing. We don't want to do something just to do it.
Yeah.
But
how does that go for when you do implement a new feature in a wheel that almost changes the entire mold? Like,
any new wheel is a new mold anyway.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Any new, like anything new, like going forward. There are some stuff you can do to existing wheels because yes, it is a casted wheel, but a lot of the aspects are machined. Like the barrel profile is machined. Like it's on a lathe, the bead humps, all that. Yes, the general shape of the hoop is there, but they go back in and clean all that up, get all the casting marks off of it and stuff. The face of the wheel a lot of times is machined. It doesn't just pop out like that. There's slag, there's weird stuff going on. Casting is not a pretty thing. I don't care what you're making. It's a funky process. It's hot. It is gross. It is, CNC milling stuff is sexy. It's cool. The lights are LED, chips are flying. It's fast. It's really, really cool. I respect it, but casting, a lot of products that we use every day are casted. Your factory wheels on your car are casted. Casting's been around hundreds of years, and it ain't changed much. Hot metal into a mold, like you're baking a cake, it pops out. You gotta clean it up a little bit, but yeah, it's it needs some help with machining to get it to a final product. So there is stuff you can do. Yeah, there's once it comes out, like if we wanted to go back and change maybe where the valve stem is, we could. That's machined. That's drilled in after it comes out. The valve stem hole is So we could move that if we want to add another one. You have 2 valve stems, one just for check-in pressure, one for, it's still roughly there, but yeah, it needs some help to get over the hump to get, and that's got to be painted and cleaned up and all that stuff too. So, but yeah, like it's really the best way to make a product mass produce is casting, obviously, because you're just, it's a mass production method. So that's why you used to see a lot of wheels made that way. And aluminum likes to be heated and cooled and molded into different shapes. It lends itself well, its properties. So, and then of course when it's done, it's lighter. It's just better than steel. Wheels all used to be steel, I guess, and wood before that. But yeah, aluminum is just everywhere. So yeah, casting has just kind of been the way to go. But yes, you're right. There are some limitations. Once the wheel is cast, we can't change how concave it is. We can't change the spokes. You're right. That would be new tooling completely. Like we screwed up before on other projects we worked on where it just wasn't enough brake clearance, and they can do just a new core to the mold. So there's a top core, a bottom core, and side cores. You could ask the factory to make a new bottom core and they would just charge you for that tooling. Still a very large amount of money. I'm not going to lie. But sometimes if you're going to sell more wheels, if you cleared the XYZ caliper, go for it. So there are parts of it you can change. It's not free, but you can hopefully offset that by selling more units. If you got the info, like, we just need 4 more millimeters here or whatever, maybe 10 if you're going to renew tooling. But yeah, tooling is a big part of it that people don't understand is the tooling has to be machined out of like insane tool steel. Like it is these giant hunks. It's like a reverse of a wheel. It's a mold essentially, like a cake pan, that has a bunch of coolant lines going into it. They figure out there's a whole cooling engineer that just figures out how to get cold, thermo properties into the mold to make it cool uniformly. Because you just dump a bunch of liquid into a mold. It's actually wheels of different designs. They all need to be cooled differently. If it's a super super thick spoke, it's got to be cooled, before the barrel. The barrel can't cool before this super thick. You got to think about all this stuff. Yeah. So
that's too much. Okay, so then how much money are you invested into one wheel design before you ever even can hold one?
Oh, it's hard to put a number on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's significant though. And it's really hard just to count the man hours too that everyone's putting in. Not only mine, but people are getting opinions from our factory over there, all the team members we're working with over there, because it's really a collaborative effort. Like, yes, they are making the wheel, but we have so much say in how we want things. Like, we really can go back and forth with them on, can we move this here? Or can we change the angle of this? And they'll always keep us in check with like, okay, well, now it's not going to pass test or something, So we definitely lean on their expertise. But, part of being who we are is we have all this feedback from motorsports, street driving. We want to infuse that with every new thing. And we want to get the factory's take on it too. It's like, hey, have you seen this before? Has anyone else done this? Or let's say we see someone else with a cool knurling on it. Something. It's like, well, shoot, can you do that? Like how much does that cost? Like, can we get that? What will be the implications of that? Obviously any factory that you work with is making more wheels than us. So they have the experience, and you want to tap into that. You want to be like, hey, have you ever done a valve stem at this kind of angle? Like, and if they say no, then you probably, even though you think it's a really rad idea, you probably should second guess that, so
valve stem's got to be at a certain angle.
Yeah, valve stem has a certain range to be in. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
All the stuff you got to consider. The lug hole's got to be a certain, the counterboard's got to be a certain depth. You can't go too deep. People like to ask us, can I just machine the pad of my wheel down to change the offset? Well, you can't do that because the bolt pattern's already drilled. And you're going to blow through the conical seat. at the bottom. You're just gonna like, what are you getting too thin there? It's not how it works. Yeah, yeah. So this is I love sharing this stuff because people just think it's so easy, but no, there's a lot to developing wheels that we consider all that, from the bead humps to the valve stem angle, the hub bores that we choose, the inner lips. There's a lot that I can't stress enough that we legitimately nerd out on here. We are not just draw and cut. Like, we are thinking about safety, performance, how much brake clearance can we get out of everything, and even how to optimize every mold. Like, can we get a 9 and a 9.5 with flow forming, changing the width of the barrel in the machine, and have like 4 different offsets and clear STI brakes all the way up to Akabonos? Like, how can we squeeze all that in so we can save a little bit of money in development? That's why I say it's hard to put a number on it, because we will spend a lot of time like optimizing each design to even save us money. Not every wheel has to be every mold. This is like behind the scenes info. We could make the 9, it would have the same face, like the same concavity, but the 9 and the 9.5 could share mold tooling, and you would never know. Yeah. You just see it as 2 different part numbers online. But yeah, and we still are taking just one has to be just as strong as the other, has to pass all the same tests. Like I said, has to clear all these different calipers to make sure we can put in our marketing. Yes, you're good with a Subaru. Yes, you're good with a CTSV. Yes, you're good with, whatever. So that's all stuff we bake in, literally, pun intended, bake into wheel development. And that's also why it takes a little bit longer too, because I'll be almost done with the wheel and someone says, oh, it'd be really cool if you guys had, like, Wisefab dropped a new kit, the narrow body kit. And it's like, wow, good thing we heard it. Okay, a good thing we heard about this now. And then, like I said, hard to put a number on it, because now I'll go back. We'll put more hours into it. And it's just not always so cut and dry. I wish, and if there was a number, I probably wouldn't say it, on air. But and every company is different too. Everyone has different relationships with their different factories. But it just, some stuff, we got to keep close to the chest. But yeah, it's a significant amount. Like the tooling costs, the man hours, down to the resin we're buying for the 3D printer. We'll 3D print all the different versions. I'll stare at it for a month. As I should, I have no shame in just putting a 3D printed wheel, like a 7-inch wheel, on my desk, and just look at it every day, and just be off in the corner and be like, just subliminally, like subconsciously thinking about it, and then making a little tweak right at the end. And I'm like, that will set us apart, or that'll help this wheel.
It's like the first time you see a new car, and you're like, I don't like the front end of it.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Like 2 years later, you're like, it's really growing on me now.
I think it's more hate than a new car. Oh my God, BMWs, forget it. Oh man, people hate
those big fucking grills, dude.
Oh yeah, they're getting bigger and bigger. Even Toyota with like the new 4Runner, like, and the people were hating, like, what is the Hulk Hogan mustache on the memes were, but then like you're right. Like, I will see new cars, like, after a little bit of time, and you're like, oh, they knew what they were doing. But those companies are investing millions. They cannot screw up making a new 4Runner. There is no screwing up for a legacy brand like that. It ain't happening, It just can't. So they know what they're doing. We like to think, oh, they're just doodling in their offices.
Yeah, they're playing with clay and 3D printers.
No, these people are being paid large salaries, and they're doing focus groups and think tank. They don't screw up. It's not a fluke, that they come out with a car that looks the way it does. They're not a couple of people in a garage just spouting off like it. No. We all like to oversimplify it that way. Like, why couldn't I could do that, Give me some clay. I'll make you a new car. Like, nah, you could not. Like, people say, oh, I could have been Michael Jordan. I played basketball in high school. Like, no. This man was unbalanced. Like, don't be projecting yourself into what you think, could have been something, because it's always more to it, So
Well, what would you say about wheels and this whole wheel industry that is probably the biggest thing that gets misconstrued or misconcepted?
man, I guess the
word I'm
manufacturing
looking for.
process, China still gets a really bad rep still to this day because of all the knockoffs that came out like the early 2000s. And
But like, is China? I don't even think China stuff is really that bad.
no, dude,
It's the
your
thing.
iPhone's made there, your Nikes are made.
Everything is
everything. That's part of the reason why we're in this tariff situation now, is because they got too good. They're kind of screwing up the game here, but we arguably let them, run with that with our own wallets. Look at Amazon. We like people. It's like people are like, why is flying so crappy now? It's like, dude, you wanted to pay less. You wanted Spirit. Like, you didn't want to spend, you wanted a $26 cross-country flight. We spoke with our wallets to get this. So don't be complaining. Like, that's Spirit. Like, that's why these airlines exist. It's because everyone didn't want to spend, $1,000 to fly cross-country. They're like, dude, just give me a seat and get me there. Like, that's what we devolved. It wasn't, I'm not trying to screw anyone over. Like, you wanted cheaper. So anyway, dude, yeah. China gets a bad rap, but dude, it is, they've been making wheels longer than anybody at this point, and making more wheels than anybody, for a reason, and Japan is a fantastic country, but it just doesn't have the size and the GDP that like China is. They almost have 1 billion more people than us in the US. Like, it's a lot of manpower and people. They are very serious about their work, though. It is. We went there in May of this year. It is straight down to business. Like, it is. They're on it. Like, you want to develop something, they're ready to go. They're ready to go. The work culture is tremendously different than here. There aren't people sitting in their cars scrolling through TikTok on their lunch break going, I don't want to go back in there. It's like they are into it, and how that's developed, I'm not sure, or say what you will, but they are ready to work over there. They just instilled in the culture. So it comes out, you see all the products that come out of there. And we've been making wheels. Our parent company has been making wheels over there since the 90s. So we have long, awesome relationships. We've been using the same factories for a long time. So we're not just winging it, like emailing some pictures over there and saying, can you make this? Like I said, I will challenge the factories. Like, I will not take what is given to me. Like, nope, it's got to be this way. Like, I feel like I have like a voice when it comes to develop product. Like, that's why I say it's a collaborative effort. It's not just copy this TE, which they will more than happily do for you. If that's what you want and you're willing to buy. But man, we've gotten to such a good relationship. Like any vendor that even you have, it's good to have like just open dialogue and be like, nah, I'm sorry, but like, we got to have this feature. Like, I got to have this thing happen. And we've learned too, we have more to stand on too. But yeah, the biggest thing I think is just where the product is from really ties to its quality. And yes, that's true.
Even if it don't make sense.
Yeah. And like I said earlier, if that really resonates with you, like if you are a big fan of a certain country, or you were born there and buying a product from there makes you just feel better, go for it. I mean, there's a ask for every seat, to put it bluntly. So, and we got to stick within a certain price point too. And like getting wheels manufactured overseas definitely helps us do that. Helps a lot of brands do that. I don't care if it's sunglasses or diapers or whatever. You got to, make the stuff affordable. Yeah, but I've been developing wheels over there for 10 years myself, but having gone there and seeing it in person, it's incredible. It's just really, they got it down, dude. They test every batch of the big cauldrons of aluminum. They test every single one with a hardness test and a chemical test. They take little samples out, they harden them. They are not in the business to screw up either. They don't want to make. They want to make good product, so they sell. They're trying to sell more too. Why would anyone want to make crappy, like low end products? Yeah, there probably are. Just like there's sketchy shops here that'll do whatever you want. But the bigger factories that we work with have standards. You know, they're not gonna.
Well, from images and videos of factories out there I've seen, almost majority of them are nicer and cleaner than anything I've ever been in.
Dude, some of them, are like you could eat off the floor. It's like it's not gonna say it's like SpaceX over there, but there are some dirt floor factories. I'm not gonna lie, with no AC, no nothing. Not the ones we work with, but you got to think at the end of the day, these are businesses that are trying to grow, expand, keep their production costs down, be mindful of what they're building. No one gets to the top by making crappy stuff and screwing people over. It's just like, these are honest businesses over there that are trying to grow and expand. The ones that we work with the longest. Yes, there are. I'm not going to turn a blind eye to people that just blatantly rip off something if you're paying. There are those factories out there for sure. Like I said, Alibaba, if you wanted some TEs tonight, you could hop on Alibaba, get yourself some BBS LMs. You could get them. There are some factories with no shame. How far you can get by just doing 4 wheels at a time, or I'm even weary of some of those like more notable Instagram accounts that just started a wheel brand. I'm a little weary that they're putting the right markings on the back and the right specifications and the right testing. I would just be cautious of that. But really, it's just relationships at the end of the day. We've been working with factories so long that we keep each other in check, and it's really balanced and cool. But yes, there will always be that part of China that just like selling, Disney stuff just blatantly ripped off, like getting away with it. I think that also feeds into giving it a bad rap, because it's like, oh, they'll do anything over there. But it's almost 1 billion more people than us, and there's hundreds, it's thousands of factories all putting out different levels. So don't let just one thing of what you see, destroy your vision. We're gonna try and be more transparent next time we go over there. I really wanted to film some more of the stuff and like speak from the factory. I think that'd be really cool. But yeah, man, it's tough. You're always gonna fight that because it's a big reputation, to go against. It's like, I don't know, like in sporting, like steroids, it's just always there. It's just like super annoying. No matter how talented you are in a certain sport, people always go, oh, juicing. It's like every major thing has its like, weird side that just gets misconstrued. And all you can do is just try to be transparent and a good brand with good intentions, and just,
I feel like as long as you do that, the right audience finds you anyways.
That's all we're trying to do, man. Yeah. And we're not going to be for everybody, and then not everyone's going to be for us. But like I said, what brands are you rocking in your personal life now? You're buying stuff that means something to you. And if it doesn't mean to you, pick something else. A lot of different shoe companies, a lot of different car companies. Pick the one you vibe with. It's that simple.
100% agree.
If you vibe with us, get our stuff, And if you buy our stuff and you don't vibe with it and get something else, it's okay,
Yeah.
We're trying our best.
Well, if you, speaking of that, buying, which wheels are your favorite that you've made?
Oh, it's got to be the KMP, dude.
Still the KMP?
Gotta be, yeah. It's still. I have 2 new ones on my desk, which are pretty exciting. I'll show you before you leave.
Right, yeah.
2 new concepts.
I gotta see it.
But yeah, design-wise is that. But I'm also a lot more excited on like the new like behind-the-scenes features we're developing. Some of the stuff I can't really really share, but like I've nerded out so much more on like the backside of the wheel, I call it. There's some like more exciting stuff there that we've just learned over the years. So that's been super cool. But yeah, design it's getting tough, man. It's getting tougher and tougher because we really like, just like with the merch, like it's time to like really set ourselves apart. So, but we can't be too weird and wacky, you know. There's a fine line.
Yeah,
like
of
you
course.
want to do cool stuff, but you can't, you know. So anyway, yeah, I'll still always love the KMP, like with his origin story and all that. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the next 3-4 wheels we drop, and also like new technology we're gonna be implementing. I get excited about that too now, because
That's awesome.
I really like morphed from like in my early like 20s and stuff. I was just a designer and I had no clue how wheels got made. But now it's like we could really nerd out on like casting and heat treating and bead seats, stuff like that. It's cool.
Damn. Well, I don't want to drag. I know we've been talking for a long time.
It's been
so,
a minute, yeah. It just
I don't want to
flows,
drag
man.
it on
It
too
just
much
flows,
more.
yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty cool. I didn't expect it to be the KMP still.
It
But,
still is,
yeah.
yeah. I mean, it means a lot to me, man. Yeah.
Well, good.
What about you though? Which
For me,
which wheel do you like in our
I still
lineup?
love the Neos, dude.
Yeah.
The Chrome Neos
Yeah.
was such a good wheel.
Dude, we actually had to bring them back. We discontinued them. Got so many emails. We brought. We never. It's like sacrilegious, like in our computer system, to bring back a part number from the dead. But yeah, we had to.
Unarchive it.
Oh yeah, it was actually I'm not gonna. It was a logistical nightmare, computer wise. But yeah, it was a weird deal. But yeah, no, that people wanted to see more sizes than that. Like they want to see 20s and like, yeah. That was an acquired taste wheel. But yeah, it ended up being kind of cool. But yeah.
Well, I'm excited to see what comes out next.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
it's
we
gonna
gotta
be
see
cool.
it,
Yeah,
but-
I'd say stay tuned. We got once we get out of this funky kind of weird year, we got our Black Friday sale. I gotta plug that before we go. 25% off. It's pretty much buy 3, get 1 free. So shameless plug. It's our biggest sale of the year every November. We'll probably do 3 months of sales in a week. So it's good. Yeah, it's gonna be pretty wild. Yeah,
Well,
it's good.
be
So
sure to
get your
jump on
orders
that.
in. Like load your carts up now. Like it is our Super Bowl. And we are gonna be like, it's gonna be nuts here. So yeah, look forward to that. It's the best time of the year to get like our wheels on a little deal. And all of our accessories and merch and stuff too. So yeah, man. It's gonna
Well,
be
look
cool.
forward to it. And yeah, well, I just want to say thank you. Thanks
Oh,
for
thank
letting me
you,
come out
Dawson.
and
Yeah.
especially keep you after hours too.
Oh no, yeah. This is what we do, man. We just live it. Well, we had a show all weekend. So who do you think's
Yeah.
gonna win?
I
know we already know who
want
won.
to speak on that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Well, it's hard to tell because nobody's driven this track.
It is hard to tell.
So,
yeah.
I mean, obviously you're heavy hitters. I don't know. I want Hurst to win because he helped me bring my stuff out.
Oh yeah.
You're
Shout
my
out to
guy.
Hurst. Yeah.
Everyone,
yeah.
go give Jonathan Hurst a follow. Go give him some love.
Yeah.
Go tell him.
Mr.
Go
Cool.
comment Circle of Drift in his comment section.
Blow him up. Spam him. Yeah, we'll see him run this weekend. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
And we'll see you at the show. We'll have a booth. You'll have a booth.
Yes, sir.
We'll be hanging.
Well, cool, man. Well, yeah, again, I appreciate it. And
Yeah,
we'll
dude,
just break
yeah.
it down from here.
Yeah. Thank you.
Absolutely, dude.
Way up to the ceiling. Trust no bitch, can't catch no feelings. I've been taking long flights from the Bay to Ibiza. Hit home runs, I'm a ball like Jeter. I just want 4, then I leave her. I'm a young pop star, call the boy Justin Bieber. Got a little money if you want, I can teach her. Whole life a movie, you can watch it in theater. Stay